Good afternoon. Welcome you all to the 35th Annual General Meeting. Special word of welcome to Mrs. Sudhamurthy. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I request my colleagues on the dais to introduce themselves, starting with Mani, on the right.
Hello. Manikanta, Company Secretary.
John Echemendi.
I'm Rupa Kudwa.
Jeffrey Lehman. Good afternoon. Praveen Rao, Chief Operating Officer.
Vishal Sikka, CEO.
Ranganath, CFO.
Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, Independent Director.
Ravi Venkatesan, Independent Director.
Punita Kumar Sinha, Independent Director.
Vinod Hampapur, Head of Talent and Technology Operations.
Sandeep Mahindru, Financial Controller and Head Investor Relations.
Jayesh Sangrachkar, Deputy CFO.
Amrita Shrikant, Head Technical Accounting.
Krish Shankar, Head of HR.
Sandeep Dadlani, Head of Americas.
Good afternoon, David Kennedy, General Counsel, Chief Compliance Officer.
Gopi Krishnan, Deputy General Counsel.
Ramdas Kamath, Infra.
Deepak Padaki, Head of Strategy and Risk.
So in addition to the colleagues on the dais, we also have Niladri Prasad joining us from Mumbai through the video conference. We have 387 members present in person and 17 by proxy to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. The register of directors and key managerial personnel is kept open near the registration counters and is available for inspection by the members. The register of proxies is also available for inspection near the registration counters. So, dear shareholders, on behalf of the Infosys Board of Directors, I'm happy to welcome you all to this 35th Annual General Meeting of your company. Your presence, as usual in large numbers, is a clear measure of your interest and involvement in the company. And I thank you for your support and goodwill that is critical to the success of this company. During fiscal 2016, we recorded revenues of 62,441 crore or $9.5 billion in US dollar terms. Our company's annual revenue growth rate was 17.1% in rupee terms and 9.1% in US dollar terms. As you're aware, there was significant volatility in currency exchange rates during the year. So in constant currency terms, our annual revenue grew 13.3% in US dollar terms. The operating margin was 25% compared to 25.9% in fiscal 2015. We paid an interim dividend of rupees 10 per share in October 2015. The directors recommend a final dividend of rupees 14.25 per share for the year ending 31st March 2016. This represents 49.7% of consolidated FY16 post-tax profits and is in accordance with our stated dividend payout policy of up to 50% of post-tax profits. Our company's performance in the last fiscal illustrates both the opportunities and challenges facing our industry. The phenomenal impact that digital technology is having on businesses around the world is creating exciting and viable new opportunities for us to partner with the clients. However, capitalizing on this opportunity requires a strong focus on innovation and collaboration. At the same time, there's never been a greater imperative to embrace technology to counter the downward pressures that we experience in pricing, resulting from commoditization of traditional software services in order to maximize efficiencies and reconfigure our solutions. Vishal Sikka, our CEO, and his management team have articulated a strategy to re-engineer the business of our company and have set themselves a target to achieve $20 billion in revenue by year 2020 with a 30% operating margin and $80,000 in revenue per employee. These are indeed aggressive and ambitious goals, but the board strongly believes that these are eminently achievable through game-changing initiatives. This will, of course, not be easy. These goals have to be viewed in the context of significant external and internal challenges. Markets are volatile, business models are changing rapidly, new capabilities need to be built, and the organization needs to adapt with great agility. However, the start of the journey has been very encouraging, as evidenced by the performance during the last fiscal year. This is both in quantitative and qualitative terms. With focused energy, creativity, and discipline, many new initiatives are beginning to show tangible results. The Board of Directors is completely aligned with the management team on these long-term goals. And I'd like to take this opportunity to pledge to you that we will pursue them on a foundation of the highest standards of governance and ethics. These are aspects of our company. These have always been valued and have been known for. Respect for the laws of the land, fairness to the interest of all our stakeholders, and a commitment to uphold our core values drive the deliberations and decisions of the board. The board strongly believes that the leadership of Vishal and his executive team is crucial to the achievement of our aspirations. In keeping with our principles of pay for performance, the board proposed suitable incentives for the executive team, but with high variability in executive compensation linked directly to company performance and to strategic goals. I'm thankful to all of you for your overwhelming support, with 98.73% of shareholders voting in favor of Vishal's reappointment in the recently concluded postal ballot. During the year, Dr. Punita Kumar Sinha joined the board, and Jeff Lehman's directorship was extended up to April 13, 2018. Punita brings to our board rich understanding of global macroeconomics, finance, and investment management. These are factors that significantly influence our company's business, and her perspective and participation will add great value to our deliberations at the board. Jeff, of course, has been closely associated with our company for many years, especially during the transitions in the management in recent years. With his reappointment, we have been able to continue to benefit from his valuable historical perspectives. In addition to our business goals and commitment to drive shareholder value, our company is focused on playing its role as a responsible corporate citizen. We continue to contribute towards initiatives that drive societal change in the communities that we operate, while ensuring that our growth is sustainable. The work done by the Infosys Foundation USA, and the Infosys Science Foundation in these areas are remarkable, and we owe our thanks to the trustees of the Infosys Foundation USA, and the trustees and jury chairs of the Infosys Science Foundation for their time and contribution towards these initiatives. I frequently visit our company's campuses and interact with Infosians at all levels. I'm truly delighted to notice a renewed sense of vigor, excitement, and energy in the organization. Infosians are at the heart of our successes and potential, and I'd like to gratefully acknowledge their commitment and contribution. Before I conclude, I'd also like to thank other stakeholders, our clients, vendors, and partners for the trust and support. I thank the governments, ministries, and departments of various countries and states that we operate in for the continued support. And of course, I look forward to your continued support and best wishes. Thank you. Now I would request Vishal Sikka, CEO and MD, to address the shareholders.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Welcome to the 35th AGM. This is my second of our AGMs. And as I look back on the year that has gone by, more than anything else, I wish to thank you for your support, for your upholding of the great values, the traditions of this company, and for your continual support that we seek from you as we go ahead. I would like to share with you a few thoughts on our journey so far over the course of this year and our journey ahead of us. Safe harbor. At Infosys, we have been on a journey to transition our company from the model of services that we have had for the last couple of decades towards a model that is based on innovation and that is based on value. A simple way to think about this is being more. At Infosys, we aspire to be more, but we also help our clients be more. And this is, in some sense, the essence of the journey that we are on. The times that we are living in, as Sesh mentioned in his opening remarks, are times where everything is becoming a service. Products, printers, copiers, airplane engines, airplanes themselves, physical products are all becoming services. Can we go back to the everything is a service? I think there is a glitch in the slides. I see something here that is different than what I see up here. I apologize. We are living in a time where things are all around us are becoming services. And the notion of a thing itself is being transformed as a snapshot of a service that is in progress. In this kind of a time, it is an extremely privileged situation for us as a services company to deliver our values. At a time when everything is becoming a services company has a huge opportunity to deliver leading solutions for the times that we are in. And yet, of course, just as digital technology is impacting everything around us, it is also impacting the world of services themselves. So to address this, I have laid out a very straightforward strategy. It is a strategy of two parts. A renewal, which is about renewing our existing businesses, which is about seeing all the businesses that we are engaged in becoming improved, becoming better as a result of new technologies and new opportunities that are available to us. When I talk to businesses and CEOs and executives of leading companies, the main concern that they all have is what is the impact of the digital technology all around us on our existing business, and how do we transform our existing businesses. So the renew part of our business is all about being better at the things that we already know about. But it turns out that as important as renew is, it is usually not enough, because new technologies and new initiatives create an opportunity for us to do things that are completely different, do things that we never did before. And that, the blue part here, the being different part, is essential to our relevance in the times ahead. And this dual strategy of renewing our existing business as well as doing new things in parallel is always founded on the basis of a common culture. And we can think about the culture as the thread that ties everything together, the foundation that links us all. If renew is about being better and new is about being different, then culture is about being true, staying true to our values, but also continually evolving in order to be relevant, in order to thrive in the times that are in front of us. And when we think about renew, it is inevitably about things like operational efficiency, automation, and things of this nature. When we think about new, it is about innovation in new paradigms. And when we think about culture, it is about basic activities like collaboration among employees and our workforce, as well as education, our ability to learn what it takes to be relevant in the times ahead. So this strategy applies to all businesses. It also applies, obviously, to Infosys, and this is what we have been executing on. Renewing our existing services and service lines on the basis of automation and innovation, delivering new initiatives and going into new frontiers that are all about enabling that automation, artificial intelligence, as well as enabling fundamental new kinds of innovation, and continually focusing on leveraging our own experience across our engagements in order to better collaborate, as well as learning the taking the exemplary foundation of Infosys in education and using that as the basis to continually learn what it takes to thrive in the times that are in front of us. I am very happy that over the last 21 months or so, that since we laid out this strategy, that our execution has started to deliver early results. Sesh mentioned our key financials already. Let me quickly walk you through this. Our revenue for the year grew by 17.1% on rupee terms to just over 62,000 crore rupees, and in dollar terms, 9.1% to just beyond $9.5 billion, which in constant currency was a growth of 13.3%. As heartened as I am by these results, we can obviously never rest on these, and we must continually strive to continue to be relevant and deliver our innovations and our differentiated services in the times that are ahead of us, at a time when the very notion of the services industry is going through a significant disruption. Our operating margin for the year grew by 12.9% to just about exactly 25%, and the net profit went up to 21.6% at a growth of 1.9% to just beyond $2 billion. Our operating cash flow improved to just above 12,000 crore rupees, and the cash liquidity, our cash position improved to just above 34,000 crore rupees. How did we do this? By executing on our strategy. The renew part of what we have done that one. Let me go to this slide. Can we go to the how did we do this slide, please? I apologize for this. I can see the slide on this monitor here, but I cannot see it up here for some reason. Can we go to the how did we do this slide? It's okay. The way we have achieved these results is quite straightforward. It is by executing on our strategy. And on the renew part of our strategy, the basic operational execution, operational excellence Praveen, myself, and our entire management team has focused on some of the basic aspects of the execution of our strategy. I will mention a few of these. Large deal wins is one of the key ones. Our performance in the large deals went up significantly over the course of this financial year. It went up by more than 40% to a deal win TCV of more than $2.8 billion. In addition, our performance with our topmost clients also improved significantly and kept pace with the company, which is exactly where we would like it to be. These are our largest clients, and one of the troubling things about our performance recently, in the recent past, was that the performance in the top clients had declined compared to the performance of the company, and we are very heartened that this has managed to come back up. In addition, some of the initiatives that we have worked on, in particular around innovation, around grounds-up innovation like zero distance, have contributed to the attrition coming down significantly from approximately 19% the year before to just about 13% in the year that just passed. We are not satisfied with this. We are very happy that the attrition has come down so significantly, but we are not satisfied with this performance, and it is our endeavor to continue to work on this. In parallel to this, on the operational side, we are still working on, in particular on some of the aspects of our costs, which we believe in the times ahead, because of structural reasons in the industry, there is a tremendous cost pressure that we are operating in, and it will require a continuous focus from our management team to continually reshape our costs, but not just to reshape our costs arbitrarily, but to do so in a purposeful way. We have already started to focus in particular on subcontractor cost, as well as getting the ratio of our on-site costs compared to the offshore costs in a better balance. We are still also early in our journey to simplify our processes and to make our processes much more agile, to empower individuals and employees so that we can get our work done with much more efficiency. And beyond the operational excellence, the rapid way in which our key initiatives like zero distance and bringing automation into our work have been adopted in the company bring me a tremendous sense of hope and inspiration. Zero distance was a very straightforward idea to help bring innovation to every project that is going on inside the company. It is a very simple idea. If we are going to transform ourselves from a company that does what was happening in our client's business but does it cheaper, towards a company that can innovate in ways that nobody else did, we have to bring this culture of innovation everywhere inside the company. Any company operating at our size and our scale can establish innovation labs and say we have innovation happening there. But the more challenging thing, the more important thing, is to create a culture of innovation everywhere. A company of 200,000 innovators, not a company of 200,000 people with 30 innovators sitting in some lab in Silicon Valley or Israel or here in Bangalore or in Shanghai or something. And that culture is embodied in the Zero Distance Initiative more than anything else. Ravi, who is here, over there, heads our delivery organization. Ravi and I, over the last 15 months, have launched this Zero Distance Initiative, and we are very heartened to tell you that more than 90% of the projects in the company already have a zero distance idea, a zero distance plan. And these are kids who have come out of Mysore, less than 30-year-old, who come up with ideas and innovations in ways in which their projects can improve. And when we walk around the campus, it is extremely heartening to see the sense of energy in the company. And I believe that when we look at the attrition that has come down from 19% to just over 13%, without having changed the compensation model or the way that we pay employees or the bonuses, I believe that this kind of an inspiration is singularly the reason that this has happened. In parallel to zero distance, automation continues to be the core way in which we are renewing our services. Last year, we managed to save approximately 4,000 people worth of effort through the power of automation. this year, with our Infosys Mana platform, our endeavor is to go much wider in the applicability of automation as well as much deeper in the nature of the work that we can do because of automation. Mana will help us bring automation to much more complex tasks, including things like L3 maintenance, where our engineers actually make changes to source code of complex systems. And I believe that amplifying their abilities, making, as Professor Mashelkar used to say, making these people able to do more with less for more, is what technology has always enabled us to do. And now, artificial intelligence and automation technologies are enabling us to bring that to our own work, including the most complex work that we perform. In parallel to the renewal that we have worked on, we have also been working on bringing completely new things and new ways of working into our business. Design thinking is a key part of that. If we are going to elevate our relationships with our clients, if we are going to become strategically relevant and important to our clients, it is not enough to do consulting. It is necessary for us to do things that help them solve their most important, most strategic problems. And I'm very happy that design thinking as a methodology has been adopted widely and deeply inside the company, and in particular in our sales organization that Sandeep and Mohit are responsible for. Every engagement that we do with our clients now has elements of design thinking in it. It is still early, but it is growing, and I'm very happy to see that more and more of our engagement with our clients is infused with the spirit of design thinking. It is about, I met Mr. Murthy recently, and he had read my interviews and my papers. We were in London, and I had lunch with him. And he told me, Vishal, what you are trying to do is to transform us from reactive problem solvers to proactive problem finders. And I said, Mr. Murthy, only you could say it so succinctly and beautifully. Is it okay if I use this line in my speeches? And he said, of course, go for it. The transformation from reactive problem solvers, where the problems have been defined by somebody else and we are simply solving it and doing it in an economically efficient way, is the way that services companies have been. The way of the future is for all of us to become proactive problem finders. You see, we still live in times where innovation is a revered activity, it is a mystical activity. People think of innovation as something that some unique innovators who are born a certain way do. But when we think about it, we realize the innovation simply is the act of seeing something that is not there, realizing that the world is missing something, and if that thing was there, it would make things better. It would be desirable, it would be feasible, it would be viable. I believe that this skill is something that can be taught, and it is something that we have been teaching with design thinking. It is also a skill that can be deployed to help uncover the problems that are the most critical problems to our clients. And that is the basis for our innovation, and that is the basis of our renewal. And on the culture front, we have been working very hard with our HR team, our finance team, all our enabling functions, and in particular our education team, which Binod is responsible for, to help teach a culture of collaboration, not by diktat or by mandate, but by inspiration. Einstein had said that love is a much better teacher than duty. We have been working on creating a culture of collaboration. Zero distance at its heart is a collaborative initiative. That culture of collaboration and a culture of education is something that is at the heart of our being able to renew our company from within in such a fundamental way. I'm very happy to report that beyond the new classes that we have put in on next generation technologies like DevOps and agility and Scrum, new ways of doing project management, new technologies in artificial intelligence and other things that we teach in our campus in Mysore and in all our learning centers across our DCs. Design thinking. We started teaching this in October of 2014, and yesterday I was reading the report. We have just crossed 94,000 Infosians who have been trained on design thinking. So this is not just establishing small centers of excellence, but it is about really revitalizing the very core of who we are. As I look at the journey in front of us, this is a beautiful picture of our campus in Mysore. The Our spiritual renewal, our intellectual renewal starts here. It starts with our ability to educate ourselves with all that is going to make us relevant in the times that are in front of us. I am extremely excited. 21 months have gone by since I started my journey as the CEO of this great institution. One of you, a long-term shareholder of ours, told me when I started this journey that, Vishal, you have to think of yourselves as a custodian of this great institution. I have never lost sight of that fact, that we, any one of us, at any given moment in time, is only a transient, temporary custodian of this incredible institution that is bigger than any one of us, that will last longer than any one of us. I am very thankful for your support in this journey ahead. I am deeply convinced that our industry's way that it has been is at a point of a fundamental change, that a cost-based model of delivering IT services with headquarters in India is not something that is relevant for the times ahead, but it is indeed a time when all of us can ignite our imagination, our creativity, our knowledge, and most importantly, our conviction to deliver the value and the innovation that our clients are looking for. I believe that it is within us because of the values and the investments that we have made. And I believe that if we are able to execute on this strategy, then the journey ahead is going to get us to our destination. But even more than getting to that destination, it is the journey itself that is going to be an extremely rewarding one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishal. I would now request Praveen, our COO and whole-time director, to make his presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I will now cover some of the operational highlights of the year gone by. Vishal has already touched upon few parts of it, so I will expand on that. Our renew and new strategy brings client to the core of everything we do. It has resonated very well with our clients. We have added 325 new clients, taking our client base to 1092. 97% of our business is repeat business, revenues from clients who have been with us for more than a year. Our average revenue from top 10 clients have also increased from $198 million in fiscal 2015 to $214 million in fiscal 2016. A clear testimony to our focus on client engagement and value creation. Our $1 million clients, who are the engines of our future growth, has increased from 558 in fiscal FY16 from 529 in fiscal FY15. Our large deal win ratio has increased significantly. This clearly due to our efforts in renewal of our core services, as well as thought leadership in new areas, thereby helping us differentiate on value and not on cost. TCV of our large deal wins has increased to $2.8 billion, a 45% increase over FY15. We have embarked on multiple initiatives to increase the sales effectiveness. Vishal talked about design thinking. Today, design thinking is a key fabric of our work and makes its way into each of our engagements. Through design-led approach, we help our clients find the most important problems and solve them in creative ways, leveraging technology. We have strengthened our partnerships with existing partners like Microsoft, Oracle, Amazon, as well as stitched together new partnerships with the likes of Tableau, Huawei, VirtuStream, and so on. We have leveraged these partnerships to ensure client success. We have enabled our sales force by deploying next-generation cloud-based mobile-first CRM system. We have also embraced social selling, leveraging the employee network to make connects with prospects and build intelligence on key decisions by monitoring news and social conversation. Last couple of years, we have taken several measures to deepen employee engagement, making the experience not only empowering, but truly delightful. We have changed the ways of working to keep up with the digital workforce, working from home, casual dress policy, open internet, bring your own device, and many other initiatives. The bell curve-inspired comparative relative ranking has been eased out from the performance evaluation process. Today, our focus is on individual performance with continuous feedback and an ongoing dialogue. We continue to invest in reskilling our employees, Vishal has already talked about it. We have also conducted multiple global hackathons, code jams, which have seen very enthusiastic participation from employees. Zero bench and zero distance has been a great catalyst, not only for our clients, but for each and every employee. All of this has resulted in reducing our annualized standalone attrition from 18.9% in fiscal 15 to 13.6% in fiscal 16. Our journey to simplify Infosys opportunities continue. We started with setting up a SWAT team, a highly empowered team of employees from various business enabling functions, delivery and sales units, guided by the tenets of design thinking and governed by Central Project Management Office. The team has identified over 200 plus changes across 15 processes, right from claims and reimbursements to project management, resulting in savings in both efforts and time to market. We are now in the next phase of our journey called Process Plus Plus, where we are looking at bringing radical improvements and simplifications of cross-functional processes like order through remittance, procure to pay, global mobility, and so on. As part of personalizing the employee journey, we have also launched a platform called Compass, which mobilizes opportunities in career, learning, and networks within the organization. In early 2016, we launched Optimize, a grounds-up movement involving employees to share ideas around cost savings, effort savings, reducing waste, and increasing productivity. We have received over 2,400 ideas and have prioritized over 250 ideas for implementation. Brand Infosys continues to get recognition from leading publications as well as industry bodies globally. We were adjudged Asia's most admired brand by World Consulting and Research Organization, a leading brand rating and ranking company. We were awarded Corporate Citizens of the Year by Economic Times. The Solar Energy Global Conference has recognized us under 4 categories, including Best Company for Sustainability in Solar Energy and Best Company for Green Initiatives.
The biggest solar plant at Infosys was installed in 2015 with a capacity of 6.6 megawatts in the Hyderabad SEZ campus. This state-of-the-art solar power plant has made the campus the first in India to be powered by 100% renewable energy. The plant will generate about 12 million units annually and will avoid 9,800 tons of carbon emissions compared to a fossil fuel-based power plant. The most interesting aspect of the project was combination of two technologies in a single location. Two types of panels, polycrystalline and thin film, and two different fixing mechanisms, fixed type and tracker. With this innovative combination in the plant, we are able to achieve 10 to 15% higher energy yield over a conventional method. Continuous online monitoring of the plant performance parameters ensures efficiency and timely maintenance needs. The results from this plant will give us valuable inputs for future investments in solar. The project is a wonderful case study and sets the standards for design and execution methodologies that can be referred by global developers. Infosys is setting new benchmarks and leading the way in renewable energy initiatives to ensure a sustainable future for the generations to come.
The video you just saw was our 45-acre Hyderabad SEC campus, which is 100% powered by solar energy. So with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
May I now request Ranga to make his presentation.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to present to you the highlights of the financial performance for fiscal 2016. As you know, this is the first full year of the execution of company's Renew New strategy, and I'm very happy to report some early results of our strategy execution. Now let me check whether this is working or not. Is this safe harbor? Thank God, it's working. So during the financial year, we had a healthy revenue growth. Revenues grew by 17.1% in rupee terms and 9.1% in USD terms and 13.3% in constant currency terms. Our net profit grew by 9.4% in rupee terms and 1.9% in US dollar terms. However, you would notice that the net profit margin was 21.6% as compared to 23.1%, a decline of 1.5%. Now, coming to volume growth, you would see that we had a very healthy and broad-based volume growth of 14.5%. However, the price realization declined by 4.7% in reported currency and 1.1% in constant currency. As we have said in the past, price decline needs to be offset through internal operational efficiency improvements and productivity improvements through automation. I'm going to talk about it shortly in my presentation. Vishal talked about this, operating cash flow. We had a very healthy operating cash flow. It grew by 13.9% this year. And I would also like to mention the second number on the right side, which is as a percentage of net profit, operating cash flow increased to 90.7% as compared to 87.2% in the previous year. Our liquid assets increased by 5.8% to 34,468 crores. And these liquid assets includes cash and cash equivalents, available for sale financial assets, and government bonds. As you can see, both gross profit and operating profit grew during the year by 14.2% and 12.9% in rupee terms, respectively. However, you would notice that the gross margin and operating margin percentage declined by 0.9% each. Operating margin decline of 0.9% was primarily an account of reduction in revenue productivity, increase in on-site mix, and increase in subcontractor costs. As I mentioned earlier, we are focusing on improvement in key operational efficiency parameters, which are indicated in this slide. These are the levers that really have, in the short term, towards healthy operating margin. While some of these parameters have improved during the year, some need further improvement, and we are working towards it. For example, while employee cost as percentage of revenue has come down by 0.7%, we saw an increase in the subcontractor cost as percentage of revenue. While some of the subcontractor cost is inevitable to address the business needs, we are further strengthening our talent planning to optimize the need for subcontractors. Utilization excluding trainees is almost flat, and this certainly requires further improvement. On-site mix percentage increased during the year by 0.6%, and we are working towards gradual reduction. You would recall that these are precisely the key operating and cost optimization parameters which we focused 2 years ago under Mr. Murthy's leadership. Coming to dividend, our dividend payout has been very healthy. You would recall that the company over the last 3 years has revised the dividend payout policy twice, resulting in the dividend payout ratio increasing from 30% to 40%, and then again from 40% to 50% of consolidated net profits of the group. For fiscal 16, dividend payout was 49.7% of the consolidated net profit. Our EPS has increased by 9.4% in rupee terms and 1.9% in US dollar terms. We deployed various employee engagement initiatives during the year, as both Vishal and Praveen talked about, which resulted in significant decrease in attrition. Attrition reduced to 13.6% in the current year from 18.9% last year. Coming to liquidity and return, we have been able to achieve a good balance between returns and liquidity. As you would notice, return on capital employed, ROCE, is 32.2%. The capital allocation policy is evaluated from time to time after considering requirements towards capital expenditure for future business growth, technology investments required to be made for new services like products and platforms, requirements towards mergers and acquisitions, and most importantly, readiness for any rapid investment required for any unforeseen business needs. The liquid assets as percentage of total balance sheet is expected to reduce over the period of time. As we saw in the current year, it dropped from 49.1% last year to 45.7% this year. Moving on to the summary financial performance on the P&L side in rupee terms. I've talked earlier about revenues and margins. I would like to draw your attention to the other income, which has decreased in fiscal 16 to 3,125 crores. This is primarily due to declining interest rates in India. Effective tax rate has come down by 0.6% to 28% this year. This is primarily on account of net tax reversals of rupees 309 crores due to completion of audits in certain jurisdictions, and we did not require these provisions anymore. We continue to have a very solid, strong, and zero debt balance sheet. Cash and cash equivalents were healthy at rupees 32,772 crores, and they form 43.5% of total assets. And the total assets, as you would see, increased by 13.5%. Coming to liabilities, there are no significant change in the liability structure. As you would notice, the share capital has doubled from on account of the issue of 1:1 bonus shares that were issued in June 2015. We had a healthy growth in retained earnings. Shareholders' equity, which is your money, accounts for 82% of the total balance sheet size. Account receivables days were a constant at 66 days during this year. Coming to our business segments, all the vertical segments had a healthy growth during the year. As you would notice, financial services continues to be our largest industry segment, followed by energy, utilities, communication, and services. Coming to the geographical segments, North America continues to be the largest segment with 62.7% of our revenues. And there has been a slight drop in the share of revenues from Europe. This is primarily an account of the currency depreciation in euro and British pound. You would know that during the last year, there was extreme currency volatility. Rupee depreciated by 7.4%, and all the other major currencies where we derive revenue from, whether it is British pound or euro, also depreciated. Our policy is to hedge net foreign currency assets of 2 quarters on a rolling basis up to a maturity of 1 year. This policy has helped us to mitigate impact of currency volatility on the P&L over the years, and we plan to continue our very proactive but at the same time practical hedging policy. So with this, I conclude my presentation on financial performance. I again thank you for all the support and encouragement during the year, and I look forward to your continued support in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have your consent to take the notice convening? For the information of the members, we have commenced serving high tea in the refreshment area. We now come to the formal proceedings of the meeting. Before we proceed, I am pleased to bring to your notice that as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company provided you, all the members, the facility to cast your vote electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their vote electronically and who are present at this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their vote at the end of the meeting. As you know, there will be no voting by show of hands. I now request Manikanta to read the auditor's report.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, dear members. Statutory auditors BSR and Company LLP and Secretarial auditors Parmeshwar G. Hegde have given their unqualified opinion for the financial year 2015-16. There are no qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks on the financial transactions or matters which have any adverse effect on the functions of the company. The statutory auditor's report on standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements are available on page number 94 and 125 of the annual report. Secretarial audit report is enclosed as Annexure 5 to the board's report on page number 45 of the annual report. As recommended, I'll take the auditor's report as read. Thank you.
Thank you, Mani. Item number 1 of the notice, adoption of financial statements. The financial statements of the company, including the consolidated financial statements for the year ended 31st March 2016, including the reports of Board of Directors and Auditors, have already been provided to the members. If any member desires to ask any question pertaining to this item or any other item on the agenda, you may please do so. My request is that we have a large number of shareholders present here, as well as shareholders who are waiting at Mumbai. In the last few years, we've had some complaints from those who have assembled in Mumbai that they don't have enough time because the time is taken away by a large number of questions from here. So I'd like to request you to be brief and not to repeat the points that have already been made, and so that we have enough time for everybody both here and in Mumbai to participate in this. Now the floor is open.
Good afternoon. I am Sadananda Shastri. My number is 303-545-99. Founder, Chairman, IT Pitamaha, Karnataka Kanmani, Dr. Narayana Murthy, the Chairman, IT Global Leader and Celebrity of IT Industry, Dr. Vishala Sikka. The only lady director whom I know personally here, Dr. Kiran Majumdar Shah, because we have to remember her. The entire globe is admiring her contribution at the global level. She has been adjudged as a brave lady. And other board members and fellow shareholders. Sir, to begin with, the stability and the image to bring up a company is played vital importance. That this good image comes in different stages, different angles. Say, for example, whenever Dr. Narayana Murthy met recently our president, the company's image was gone up because wherever everybody says Infosys Narayana Murthy met the president of, Prime Minister. When his candidature was talked about for the post of president last year, still it has gone up. If once Dr. Narayana Murthy becomes the president, the Infosys image will be a saturation point. Definitely, he must become a president because he is a Ajata Shatru. He is the best suited person that post. Coming to the report, sir, everywhere it is talked about being Infosys and being more. Really, M-O-R-E, more. Everywhere it is talked about more energy, more power, more seeing, more doing, etc. Why can't the company has failed this principle in bringing the short gap of net results? You might have seen that there is a short gap of 400 crores in the net results. During 2014-15, 1,700 was the increase. In 15-16, 1,300 odd is only increase. There is a short gap of 400 crores. 400 odd crores is there. What is the reason, sir, that we want to know? Secondly, in page number is not mentioned here. Anyway, we saw that in this one. That is solar energy. That plant we saw. Sir, it's very fine. It is only in Hyderabad. Why should not be in Karnataka? Let there be, because Karnataka is experiencing acute shortage of electricity. At least by next project, let the company take this project in a befitting manner. At least let the Karnataka taste the solar energy produced by Infosys in Karnataka itself. Coming to the page number 3. Dr. Sikka sir, in your statements, I think from the right side, that is second para, you have said here, during the year we released nearly 4,000 full-time employees from the project. But one time you said earlier that in order to retain the creams of the company, the enhancement of salary is definite, that we have to do it, but you have done it. But why this statement is contrary to that one, that we want to know it, sir? Sir, in page number 18, dividend I don't want to touch, that is already given. Bonus shares. Bonus shares already issued, we have enjoyed. But in the recent decision of the government, it is in Times of India, it is published on 2nd June. What it says, to consider bonus share issue when reserves and surplus add up to over 5 times equity capital. Mandatory bonus issue once reserves crosses 10 times the paid up capital. So actually, I think 1,148 crores capital is there, whereas the 56,000 crores reserves is there. According to this decision or enactment, the shareholders may get one more bonus share, I think so. Can the Infosys do it? At least let us know, sir. Coming to the page number. Yes, sir. Yes, coming to the page number 128, that is consolidated balance sheet. Actually, as far as the gross profit is concerned, there is no change. Steadily increasing is there. But in the case of net profit, there is a lot of sharp gap is there. Especially, as I told earlier, that is staff establishment expenses. It is exceeded 4,000 crores compared to the earlier years. I think it may be a warranted one. But at the same time, the staff welfare expenses is also increased to 70 crores. When the company is not in a position to meet the short gap or to eliminate the short gap, there must be a limit for this. This is established expenses and other expenses concerned. Sir, Dr. Sikka sir, one more, this is press notification I saw here. During last month, your name has appeared. Sikka kicks in big salary spikes at Infi. There is a competition is there for among the 4 members of CEOs. But unfortunately, Infosys CEOs, it is limited to 116 crores. I think from 90 to 116 crores it has come up, whether it is warranted, sir, under this situation. Fortunately, we are very much fortunate that the lowest increase is from our Sikka, sir. Sir, at this stage, I want to remember, I want to recollect it, that our board, our Infosys management was prepared to work for the Infosys under a rupee salary. But why it is mounting up like anything, you please give me some relief to that one, sir. And as far as in page number 142, here in cash and equivalent balances, deposit with financial institution, 5,277 crores. Sir, the Infosys company is dealing with so many banks. Why it is particularly invested in HDFC? Are there any solid reasons? We want to know it, sir. As far as the CSR is concerned, the company is doing good work so that the people around the country are enjoying it. Let it continue in the same fashion. But one personal, small, this one, I have given a last year, not only last year, since 5 years I am giving an appeal, but there is no response of that one. There is no response for that one. At least this time you give some response to us, sir. I will hand over this because he will not be available to see afterwards. This one I will hand over to our. Thank you very much, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ramamurthy. Mr. Sikal, whether you know that you are remembered yesterday in TCS AGM, some shareholder was asking Sikal. This has come in the paper. Okay. Going to the accounts, I have gone through the balance sheet. The balance sheet has been presented very well. The company is doing extremely well in terms of the conservation of water, the Infosys Foundation, the Infosys Science Foundation, especially they are honoring so many mathematicians, scientists, so on and so forth. I have only one query. When we talk about this standalone net profit, we are 15,786 crores. When we consolidate, the net profit comes down to 13,678 crores. Obviously, some of the subsidiary companies are making losses. I would like to know from our Mr. Sikka, what is the action being taken? How to improve the performance of the subsidiaries? Because the subsidiaries is a strain on the main our net profit. So what are the steps being taken to improve our subsidiaries and bring it to the net profit? So consolidated net profit should be always more than the standalone. If we can clarify, it will be very nice. That's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sachin Kumar, and I could be one of the smallest shareholder of Infosys Limited. I have 3 questions, very quick one. As there is a more than high probability of change in US government, and our major revenue is from US, what do you think, what will the impact of revenue in coming future? And being a selfish shareholder, when we can see our Infosys company is crossing market capitalization of somewhere around 6 lakh crores. And third one, it's extract from Dr. Sikka's presentation. When we say new being different, automation and innovation, how Infosys is different from Accenture, HP, TCS, and another companies? Because they all believe in innovation and being different. If I quote Whitman's quote, idea economy, how are we different from HP, Accenture, Infosys, and other companies? Thank you very much.
Mr. Apnita Kumar, would you mind repeating your first question? Mr.
Yep. As there will be more than probability of change in US government's leadership, what do you think about the impact on revenue? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm PR Naik, and my number is 10817664. I have 2 questions. The first one concerns page 69, Management's Discussion and Analysis. When you look at the segmental operating profit growth, in India, it is something like 6 to 7 percentage points. Whereas, as I think even at the presentation you mentioned, Europe has come down and the US, North America, it's about so. My question is, what did you do in India? Why aren't you doing it in the US and in Europe? Question number 2, page 108. This concerns your trade payables. If you look at the outstanding dues of creditors other than micro enterprises, there's a 5-fold increase from last year. Gentlemen, isn't this spoiling our image? Why aren't we paying? What is the matter? Why is it happening? Why is this so? 2 questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good afternoon, Board of Directors and Chairman G.V. Ramana Reddy, ex-Bharat Electronics Limited. Infosys share is 5 rupees. Why can't you divide into 1 rupee share? Please divide like a Tata Consultancy Services 1 rupee share. You follow TCS rules and regulations. Thank you, sir. You please, employees, if they are holding 2,000 or 3,000 shares, you give promotion 1 year or 2 years so that share price will increase. If you divide into 1 rupee share, 1,500 rupees it will cross. Thank you, sir.
Very much good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. and Ms. Directors, and entire team of Infosys, and all the shareholders. My name is Bharat Raj. I'm coming from Hyderabad. First of all, I must thank Mr. Manikanta arranging a very beautiful venue and arranging very good. I request everybody to give very big applause to Mr. Manikanta. And whenever I call from Hyderabad, his entire team is very good and receiving the calls, and immediately they are getting reacted. Mr. Rakesh, Mr. Research, and some other person, they are giving information regularly. Thank you very much, Mr. Manikantan, and your leadership. Very, very much thank you. I want to share very important thing is, a company secretary is a messenger on behalf of the shareholders to the institution head. So I wish that you always cooperate to the shareholders and you always pass on the messages to the institution heads, whatever your queries, everything. Thank you very much. And I want to share one more thing. Our CEOs are changing, but venue is not changing. So I'm not against this about venue, but my request is that Bengaluru is a very big city, and I regularly, frequently, I attend few companies. They arrange some transport system from 4 sides. They arrange some bus. Whoever wants, they can call to the company secretary office. Then they can pick up certain point, because our company has a lot of senior citizens. You should consider them. See, as a youngster, I can come, but we should think about the senior citizens coming long away from our annual general meeting. Please arrange something transported next year. Thank you. Mr. Sheshu, first of all, I'm thank you very much under the leadership. Our company is growing, and thank you very much. I request everybody to give big applause to our chairman, because he's doing wonderful job. Under your leadership, our company is growing. That is very important. We should encourage our team. And the CSR program is wonderful. And I want to share one more thing, Mr. Chairman. You are doing very good for the CSR. I'm from Hyderabad, from Andhra Pradesh. There are some schools where there is no toilet for the schools of the girls, some Gurukul schools. So why not to think about this and invest something on schools in Hyderabad, in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And I want to share one story. There is one big businessman who started one institute. And the institute is Birla Institute of Technology. Now it is in top technology in India after IIT. Sir, we have very good mentors. We have very much money. Why not to start IIT, Infosys Institute of Technology? Our company is 35 years old company. Next we will come to the 50 years old. If we start now, maybe after 15 years, our institute may be a top global school. See, we want to create leaders. Our mentors have a very good vision to create a very good education to the society of our country. So why not to think and why not to pursue this matter in front of our mentors? Why not to consider and start an institute about starting a very good, like a IIT institute or global school. And Mr. Vishal, first of all, I'm thank you very much. Under your leadership, our company is growing. I request everybody to give big applause to our chairman, our CEO, because a leader is who first he practices, then he preaches. That is called leader. I'm very much happy under your leadership. My company will be definitely a $20 billion company by 2020. See, an institutional responsibility is to take care about the shareholders. See, my request is that how my share price is be consistently the same, and how we are giving the dividends to our shareholders, and how we are giving the bonus. See, our company has completed 35 years. So why not you plan for 2016 to 17 a 35 rupees dividend for this financial year? See, you're planning for the Vision 2020, a $20 billion is very good. So why not to plan this year? Thus, I should give something for my shareholders because we are trusted on you. We are encouraging you. So you plan for at least this year, I should give 35 rupees a dividend. So please plan that nothing is impossible, Mr. Ishika. And under your leadership, definitely my company will grow. Mr. Ranganathan, congratulations to be a CEO of our company. I wish that under leadership, yes, our annual income will increase. And we plan and associate with our CEO and plan to how to give 35 rupees dividend this financial year. That is the most happiest part of our, as a shareholder, everybody we think. And what I observe is that we are investing more in banking and investment which is in very secured. But a lot of big institutions are investing in debt and equities also. So my incentive is that we don't enter into the large sum. Why not enter 1% or 5% of our liquid into the equities and debt? See, creating the wealth is very important from our own money. See, we cannot expect that every time we can get money from that. So under the leadership, definitely our company will progress. And our entire Infosys senior leaders, I request that please support our CEO. He's a great leader. He's having very good ambitions and plans to make our company a $20 billion company. And last year, I already informed you, Mr. Sika, under leadership, not $20 billion. I want to that a global 50 Fortune 500 company. So definitely you will create a roadmap for that. And I wish you all the best, entire team. Thank you very much. And one more request is, Mr. Sika, we all requested for a campus visit from Mysore. Last time Mr. Manikanta is not there, but Mr. Manikanta is available now. Why not engage that assignment to him? And Mr. Manikanta, why not to take the mobile numbers who came to the AGM meeting? So you can take the numbers who attend this AGM meeting, let's call who are interested on that date, they will come. So try to understand the program. And once again, thank you very much and all the best. God bless you all.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mukesh Kumar. This is one of the best AGMs that I have been attending, and I'm very proud to be an investor in Infosys. And fortunately, it happens to be in the city where we are living. And I congratulate the entire team and Mr. Sesashai, who has taken over recently. We have been having his mentorship at Ashok Leyland as well, and many other companies. And as far as IT is concerned, Infosys is considered the Mercedes of IT companies. And that is the kind of brand image Infosys has created over the years, in the last 35 years. Now, there's one very serious aspect I would like to talk about. It may appear that it's inappropriate for this forum, but if we dwell into it a little deeper, it is most appropriate because we are in a city where the traffic problem is so bad that majority of the people are spending more time, much more time on the road trying to reach somewhere instead of spending quality time at their home or at work or elsewhere. And this also adds up to their functioning. The stress level increases enormously. I'm sure a lot of people here have done a lot of things along with the government locally, including Dr. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw and many other people, Mr. Azim Premji and even Mr. Narayan Murthy earlier used to do. But let us go back a little and think that when Infosys and many other companies can create wonders, they can give so many things to so many companies in so many countries. Unfortunately and ironically, the place where it is located, can we not do something to improve a little bit? I'm sure it is not just the government effort, it's not the public effort or everybody's effort. But then somewhere we should not give up. In your annual report, it is mentioned in the first few pictures, beyond this, beyond that. So why can't we have something beyond Infosys in terms of what Bangalore should be converted into? Last week I had a very severe dislocation of this finger, and a good Samaritan took me to the hospital in Malleshwaram, to Apollo Hospital. It took 45 minutes to reach 1.5 kilometers on a Sunday evening. So this is the kind of state of affairs. It's a shame that in a city where it's the IT capital of the country, an ambulance cannot reach a hospital in time. And I think all of us owe it to ourselves to do something about it. And I'm sure with the concerted effort of all the bigwigs in the industry, some solution can be found, maybe with the help of the central government as well along with the state government and other agencies. I congratulate the new team for an excellent performance. There are always hiccups here and there, but we are in the right hands and we'll be doing something really good in future. Thank you very much.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗುತ್ತಿರುವ ಇನ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕೋಟಿ ಕೋಟಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ನಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಂದು ಆಡಳಿತ ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವಿನಂತಿ ಪೂರ್ವಕ ನಂದು ಕೋರಿಕೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವಾದರೂ ತಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಂದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Srinivas Rao. Sir, I request the Infosys should start a development center in Amaravati, the new capital of Andhra Pradesh. The government of Andhra Pradesh has a dream to convert Amaravati as a Singapore of India. And being many IT professionals coming from Andhra Pradesh, having a development center in Amaravati will be a blessing to not only to Andhra Pradesh but entire India. I request to please consider it, sir.
Dr. Shikha and Board of Directors, shareholders of Infosys family. I think I have been attending this meeting for the last, say, 18, 20 years. I never used the dice. I would like to, I am not an economist, nor I am a specialist in accounting, comment on all the budgetary profit, everything. But what made me to come here today, I saw on 12th June Hindu paper, Infosys to reward staff moving to small towns. I consider it as a very, very important move, though it may not be done with the national interest, but indirectly it adds to the problems of social development in the country. Today's problems of urbanization not very seriously being considered. There is a need for decentralization of the centers of economic growth. And this is in tune with what the national goal of equity in different regions is concerned. Therefore, I would like to heartily compliment for this decision of decentralizing, going to the small towns. Once you go to the small towns, you are not only helping yourself, you are helping the local people. You are stopping migration. You are helping congestion in the urban area. Stop congestion, migration. Now, all these things are in the interest of the national development. As a social development expert, I am telling you, I think you have to make a publicity of this, and the government of India should recognize this company a kind of a landmark decision in going to decentralization of their economic center so that it adds to the development of this one thing. And the second aspect of it, we have a social responsibility doing very well. You know. Though this is indirectly this particular decision is going to help if it is taken very effectively. The fact that they are taking it very effectively because you have announced the incentives for the people who want to go to the towns and work there. But your social responsibility function also should be joined with this, so that you, the company, can start establishing some rural urban centers of growth. If infrastructure in the towns and the bigger villages, depending upon the agroclimatic and the space matter, if in the social responsibility function, if they take up on an experimental basis, you are in the field of education, you are in the field of health, you are in the field of culture, everything. But in the field of rural development, rural urbanization is the need of this country. It's not receiving as much attention as this country with a rural background should receive. Therefore, I very strongly wish that Infosys should take a lead in this matter with their budgetary provisions in the social responsibility aspect. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashish, and I have most respect for this company. I heard Dinesh lecture that time and again the goal of company is to be most respected company, and I welcome the changes which announced this last 1 year. I hear from my ex-colleagues they don't have to wear tie as we have to wear tie, and they are not fined for not wearing tie now. So a lot of changes are happening, and most of the workforce will be under 30 who earn revenue for the company, the billable workforce. So Vishal was mentioning about innovation coming from 30-year, people who are under 30 years, so who are giving ideas for getting more and more, say, opportunities, finding opportunities, and where revenue can be increased, where cost can be cut. And he also mentioned a keyword, ideas are coming for kids, so I sincerely believe this is coming from love, and they are also respected as professionals, because 11 years back, 12 years back, also I heard the term kid, and still I hear the word kid. So I sincerely believe it is coming as source of love and not as, so that is one thought. The second, I will also expect we can also have visit to the facility as shareholders. No company allows shareholders to visit their campus. We only see in the videos. So if that can be considered, it will be good for at least once they can see the campus. So these are the two kinds of points I had. Thank you so much.
My name is N. Gopal Krishna Rao. The Chairman and the Board of Directors. We are attending 35th meeting, Annual General Body meeting today. The very word Infosys mentioning is, we remember, I strongly feel others also will remember Mr. Narayan Murthy's. I think last year or before last year, myself and even others, we suggested that any of the family member, whether Mr. Narayan Murthy, our son or his wife, anybody, would have been taken as an advisor, at least because they are sacrificed for the welfare of the company so long. The entire family is sacrificed. Today, if you are speaking there, today, if it is a world-recognized company, means it is due to them. And after our Mr. Sikka entering the company has grown vertically, horizontally, in all the ways. And I have read also in the press note, salaries have been increased. It is an incentive for the employees not to resign from the company for better prospects. It is a very, very good thing. Few years back, I think more than 15 years or 20 years back, I remember, one from Infosys company has resigned and joined some other company. I happened to meet him, I asked him the reason, why? That was the grouse. I personally heard that employee somewhere is working. No, it is not so. It is a very good sign, symbol that you have increased your salaries so that employees, they will not go out. It is another way of incentive. It is a very good thing. See, your board contains 5 independent directors and Kiran Mazumdar this side, left side of the cover page, independent director. See, in this stage, they are doing this. Chairman and board independent director, operating officer, Mr. Praveen Rao, Vishal Sikka, that we know. In this stage, there are 5 independent directors. Under what category you have taken? What is the delegated duties or the responsibilities put on them in the company? Because independent director is a common word. There are 5, and here also including 6. So as a piece of information, we would like to know what are the independent duties as an independent director. It is for purpose of information. And page number 25, it is insider trading. You say US laws. Why are you linking the US laws to our Infosys company? Of course, it is listed in New York Stock Exchange, few years back it is being traded. But even from the point of insider trading, are you linking directly or indirectly the point of insider trading to our Infosys concern? Please explain. Because I would like to know how exactly you are linking the US laws on that. There is one para I have put. Then, page number 23, Infosys leadership. You see, you have explained in one para, Infosys leadership. What exactly you mean? Are you training the leaders for Infosys only? Or if some other companies asks you, please give me leaders who have been trained under your company, are you imparting them? Please let us know. This leadership is a very important point. But kindly inform whether it is for the companies only or for others also you are doing it. Then, meeting place. Last time I mentioned, even according to the corporate governance, this meeting is to be held in the center of the Bangalore, south, east, north, west, so that people can attend. That is the meaning of it. Of course, you feel it is convenient, this all you are conducting. But I prefer somewhere in city you please conduct, so that people will attend easily instead of coming to this corner. You may find extra convenience, extra advantages and other things, but with all these things, shareholders find a little most difficulty attending this particular point. Please see that. Ambedkar Bhavan is there, Gnana Jyoti Auditorium is there, and there are some other big halls are there, so that you can choose next year. Last time I also mentioned companies visit. Companies visit, and also when the Mysore, our training unit. So those who are willing, they can give their names, we can pool them on a particular day and take them, so that we will be happy to see the working day, because we will be seeing in the place, paper, news, etc., TV, and meeting. Physically we have not seen. We would like to see as a shareholder, and I feel happy. Then, meeting place, dividend. You have given interim 10, 14, 25 letters. You have got thousands of rupees profit. Your allocations are more to other things. And the minimum dividend could have been minimum, at least minimum 30 rupees should have been there, even after the appropriations. I do not understand. As a shareholder, I have a vested interest in getting more dividend, reasonably. But I do not know 1425 plus 10, 2475. Compared to your gigantic profit you have earned, comparing to your statutory reserves, compared to your operations, dividend is nothing. Of course, you have given bonus. That is over. So dividend would be at least higher in the next place. So with all these things, company is growing very well in all the sites, and the board is working very well. My thanks to the board and staff at all levels.
Hi, my name is Neil, and I came up with a bunch of questions, but I noticed.
Sorry, would you mind repeating your name?
N-E-E-L, Neil. So I came up with a bunch of questions, but I saw a speaker before me. He spoke about the traffic situation in Bangalore, and I think you guys should be talking to the governments. I mean, you are a private company, but I think you still can't shrug it off your shoulders, because when you talk about innovation, you want really enthusiastic people to come to your office, not people who spend 3 and 4 hours in traffic and who come and they just want to get their job done, clock 9 hours, 15 minutes and go home. So that was a very important point that someone raised. You can't talk innovation when people are traveling for 3.5 hours, smoking all the fumes and particulate matter on the street. So Nandan used to do that for the Dumblur flyover, then the elevated flyover, you guys do it, you have LCA, but we would like to know what you're doing about it. The second question that I had was about salaries of some of you sitting here, some of you who are no longer here. I mean, our salaries, general public, it goes up at 5%, 6%, but most of the executive level salaries, they're like doubling, tripling. So what are you doing right, which we are doing wrong? I mean, Bansal's salary was 1.7 crore, it went up to 4.75 crores, then he separated with 23 crores. Some of it was perhaps fixed income bonus, I don't know if it was stock or severance package, I don't know, that's what the news items say. So could you please split these salaries, split the salary into multiple sections for corporate governance sake. And another thing was that I wanted to point, I mean, I read a news article saying that Bansal had to sign some enhanced non-compete and non-disclosure clause. I mean, why wasn't he made to sign earlier? Why did he have to sign when he's quitting? And has MDR signed it now? I mean, this enhanced new clause, because otherwise you're a smart guy. So if you're not signed it, you're perhaps going to end up with some 15, 20 crores. And apart from that, one question was about, I meet a lot of Infosys around band 6 and above, and they were really not happy with the excuses that you gave them when their salaries increased from July. They feel that they are no longer wanted. I mean, is that how it is? The foot soldiers from at lower bands, are they more important than the band 6 guys? Is that why this happened? That's the general perception. Apart from that, someone spoke about the government changing. In particularly, I don't know what happens when if Trump comes. I mean, it's not only, he's a madman. That's my perception individually. So I don't know what happens to offshoring and what's going to happen to Infosys. I mean, more in particular, what's your strategy for it? That's it. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Narsimhan. I had a small suggestion, since many of the shareholders are interested in visiting the Mysore campus especially. So I have a small suggestion that at least in the next annual general meeting, along with giving this restaurant coupon, you can also give a coupon as an entry ticket to the Mysore campus, and keep a window of next 15 days that whoever wants to go to visit Mysore campus, you arrange one help desk there with one employee or some such thing who can take us all around the campus. I think Infosys will be doing a great service to the shareholders because many of the shareholders, I feel, even if they are having one share, if it is worth 1,200 rupees, they have got enough money to go from Bangalore to Mysore. And we don't need any transport from the company. What we need is only an entry ticket to visit Mysore campus, and if they keep a window of about 15 days after the annual general meeting, and somebody at the Mysore campus to take us around, that's all what is required. Another thing, a lot of things is said about splitting of the shares. Splitting of shares also, I think, maybe the directors are also having some interest, maybe they will be having, because the moment some stock is split, afterwards, I think the value also, there will be a rise in the market. So I think whoever has already said about splitting of shares, I also echo the same sentiment.
that splitting of shares of already about 1,200 rupees, I think it will increase the value of the shares in the market. Regarding bonus, I do not know. Everybody says if any company is giving bonus, it is a very good company and other thing. Practically what we have seen is that the moment bonus is given, next day the shares, if it is given 1:1, next day in the market it is reduced to half. So what is the meaning and logic? I do not know. I am a layman. So these 2-3 things, what I had in my mind, I have kept in front of you. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. This is Jaikmar from Salem. Sir, I'd like to know your views regarding the impact of automation in 2 areas. One in the profitability of the company, second in the reducing employment opportunities in the economy. Because recently I read an article which says this automation is likely to reduce the employment opportunities by around 40% in the next 5 years. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening and respected to the board, dais and my co-shareholders. My name is Ashok Chakravarti, yes, and my number is IN 300-513 1813-3296. Sir, the management has rewarded the shareholders by issue of bonus shares in the year 2014 and year 2015. I have already thanked in the last general body meeting and I am thanking once again. But I am also right in requesting some reward in the year 2016 also, at least as suggested and requested by many members, at least by split of shares. Majority of the Nifty and Sensex stocks, face value is less than 5 rupees. Example I am saying for the value of the, even Ashok Leyland has made a split of shares, even though the price was less than rupees 50. Further, management is aware that Wipro buyback process already started, and as per our report and as per the information given now, our company is having a liquid assets of 34,000 crores. So buyback at the very good price also can be considered in the year 2016 as a reward to the shareholders. The second subject, sir, I am sorry to inform you that management is raising red flag occasionally at some meetings and at press or public media. I just wish to inform you that it creates doubts and scope for insider trading. Hope you accept that press and media may be more than any other departments in extracting information they want it in, keeping you in smile and without any pain. Earlier, a reviews is being done once in a year. Subsequently, it was 6 months. Now it is 3 months. You may wait till the review instead of raising a red flag occasionally. And not only Infosys, and I am observing some other software companies also raising the red flag at the occasional intervals for the reasons best known. If it is so warranted, make it is with due notice to NSE or BSE and press with full explanations for keeping in the shareholders' interest of the shareholders and traders. One more request, sir. Promoters also, whenever they want to liquidate the shares, I request them to give some notice period to take care of to take the position in interest. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Elarigu Namaskara. My name is Sandeep BN. So I have 2 points to share with the management. Point number 1 is that the industry is probably going through the biggest transformation in its entire history. But if you look at the changes that have happened in Infosys, they are very long-term in nature. Like, for example, the verticals remain the same, the service offerings remain the same, and everything remains the same. Only change that I am seeing after Dr. Sikka's takeover is that he's trying to change the culture of the organization. See, there is a transformation which is already happening in the industry. It is already there, but changing the culture of an institution like Infosys with 2 lakh employees is bound to take a lot of time. And on behalf of shareholders, I would like to say that we are expecting some big decisions from you, which can change the face of Infosys and bring back the bellwether or lead the Indian IT industry. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is not only on the behalf of shareholders, but on the behalf of entire, citizens of our country. It's about the usage of land, actually. So if you look at the solar panel installations, it's generally done on the rooftops or on the canal or on the highways. If it is on the land, it's mostly in the arid regions or a desert, actually. But within a city like Hyderabad, it caused a heartburn to me when they said that they have kind of, used 45 acres of land within Hyderabad to lay it over the land. And another observation I have is that your 100-acre campus in Mysore. See, the reason the capital city shifted from Mysore to Bangalore was that the availability of irrigated land in India is very less. And surroundings of Mysore is like highly irrigated thanks to the visionary Dr. Visvesvaraya, Sir M. Visvesvaraya. So the point that comes out is that, you may get land, maybe at a very cheap cost, but you should value the land actually and probably make the best use of the land. So you may use that land to generate the cash, but the point is that, we can't eat that cash. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Harsha, and I have a few questions directed towards Dr. Sikka. This is regarding your Vision 2020. I just did a back of the envelope calculation on your revenues perspective. You said that you're looking at doubling your revenues. So we are looking at almost 18% CAGR, whereas this year you've given 13% CAGR. So my question to you is, are you looking at any big ticket acquisitions? Are you looking only at organic growth, or are you looking at inorganic growth as well? And what kind of risks do you foresee to this vision that you have? And what strategy do you have to counter it? And also, are you looking at any startups in the digital cloud SMAC areas? Some of your competitors are aggressively investing in digital technologies. Are you also looking at startups which can, give you good returns in the years ahead? And what percentage of revenues in 2020 are you looking from digital SMAC cloud areas? What percentage of revenue has come from digital social mobile analytics cloud area in the current financial year? I think your financial report does not cover that. And also, what would be the non-linear growth in Vision 2020? Thank you.
I'm T.N. Ramakrishna. My folio number is IN 3077 10484514. First, I would like to know, as a member, am I entitled to get the minutes of the meeting? I have sent a mail to the investors@infosys.com on 27th May, and I haven't received it. And yesterday, I called your board number. I spoke to one Mr. John, and I was told that I'll get a call back from the concerned department, and it will be sent, and I never got it till now. I brought the copy of the mail I sent, and a reminder also I sent yesterday.
You're referring to the minutes of the AGM?
Pardon?
You're referring to the minutes of the AGM?
Yeah, minutes of the annual general meeting last year, 31/3/2005. I haven't received. I sent this mail. I'd like to hand over this. I sent a reminder also yesterday. It was first mail was sent on 27th May. I don't know. I'm not an expert in company law, but I feel, because I also studied MBA, I feel we should get when we ask for it at least. So this is a copy. Two copies are there. One can be given to the chairman. Second thing is, just came, so I could not go through your annual report. Page number 7, consolidated profit has come down compared to standalone profit. I would like to know the reason why normally consolidated profit should be more than the standalone profit, unless the group companies have reported losses. I have not gone through the report, only few pages I could do. And few years back, I requested the management to present the annual report in a very simple way to understand, in a graphical presentation, maybe histogram or pie chart, on various parameters, maybe per employee turnover, per employee profit after tax, and book value, and many other EPS and other things, which is not yet implemented, but it was told it will be looked into and they will do it. So it's not done. And also about the minutes of the meeting, about 4 years back when Mr. Gopal Krishnan was the MD, he told it will be posted in the website of the company. It was on record, he has told. Hopefully it has been recorded in that year minutes of the AGM. So that can be looked into. And the CSR, would like to know whether the company would like to associate with its own members who are into various kind of CSR activities which fit into the statutory requirements as well as the company's focus area on CSR. Whether there is any policy where we can approach when we are into a lot of social activities, our own members, doing it. So whether they can approach, what is the procedure, another thing that can be highlighted to the members so that they can associate with the company in the CSR activities. And one more thing is, if you see the number of shareholders in the city of Bangalore, I don't know what is the number of shareholders within the city of Bangalore, the number of attendance of people who are attending the AGM is relatively less. I have suggested as an kind of gesture, you can send an SMS alert couple of days and on the day of the AGM so that they can, some more attendance can be, more participation of the retail shareholders can be ensured. That was also told it will be looked into. I think there need not have to be any statutory requirement to do all these things. Cooperative banks in Bangalore and other parts of the country, they are doing all these things. So why don't we learn when, as it is told in Rigveda, the ancient, our scriptures, Anubhadraha Kratava into Vishwataha, let noble thoughts come from all sides of the world. So there's nothing to hesitate to learn from smaller sector of the economy like cooperatives and other things. If we ourselves are not doing it, better learn it from others. Thank you.
My name is Raghavendran, coming from Europe. So I'm just simply sitting in the chair. I want to speak something because my work, I don't want to say anything. It is all in my computer. Many brokers know about me. And I want to suggest shareholders, don't be panic. Put your money, whenever the company goes down, you put your more money and you have some faith in the company. You work with the company. You like that company. Then only when there is a result coming from the company, you will get better result. And don't sell the shares immediately. Put continuous money into your very good companies. I am not at all having any interest with the Infosys. Really, I put money one day. I put one share. Yesterday, I also, before coming to this shareholders meeting, I put one share. So hard work. And we also know something about the company before investing in any of the company. I'm having a lot of experience. I don't want to say anything. A simple experience, a simple word I will tell you. A farmer is growing a sugar cane. He is waiting for 90 days to yield better result. Similarly, don't expect immediate profit or immediate loss. Don't make loss. But you should understand the share, you should understand the company, and you should invest the company. Don't make any, it is written in the disclosure statement, any broker, you have to study well, you have to invest, you have to select the company, you have to wait for some time, and try to save the money whenever you are getting that hard-earned money. That is because I'm having a lot of interest. I don't want to tell my experience. I know how I am working. Still today, even today, I am just making a lot of interest in shares. But I don't put money unnecessarily. If I like, I will put the money. So we want some patience in shareholders, want some patience. When you have patience, definitely you will get money. Always cope up, always study the company. Always go with there is a balance sheet, always study the background of the company. So Infosys is a very best company. It is the right time for me to enter into this company. I have invested more, but I have got only one share. I have invested more. I think this is a very good time for me to come over here. I am a Bangalore University student. I am coming from Europe. I am an Institution of Engineers India candidate. I worked hard. I don't want to tell you more because hard work alone will be patient in making things and cooperate with the management. Don't say anything for coming to the shareholders and don't say anything. You just have to wait and see their balance sheet and put your hard work and try to earn money from the company. Don't immediately, you get one share. I got lost. Immediately, I don't want to go away because hard-earned money will be lost. You have to wait.
Thank you, sir.
Then only you will get better profit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, CEO Mr. Vishal Sikka, sir, President Narayanamurthy, CFO, CFO, and the entire board. My name is Godson Davis. I am one of the smallest investor here in Infosys. And also I am an MBA finance student pursuing my second year here in Christ University. So I have 3 questions and 1 suggestion. So first of all, before going to that, I really have to say this. I am really privileged to stand here in the stage where the entire board of the most prestigious company I've ever known is here. And I've come to this auditorium more than 10 times and I've done some performance here 2 times, but I'm really nervous now. And we people have read about you, Mr. Vishal Sikar sir, studied about you. Most of them have you as a role model, but I'm just standing few yards away from you and it is kind of really a good experience. So I'll go on to the questions now. CFO sir said that 20% of Infosys revenue is coming from Europe and it was 24.1 the previous year. So what is your look at Brexit, the Britain leaving from Europe? If it does that, whether it will be a good or bad for the company? And in case of any uncertainty, what is your strategy towards that to maintain the revenue from Europe? And the second one is about Fed, that is North America is contributing 62.7% the previous year. So about increase in rate by Fed, how it will affect, and in case of that, any hedging have you done or something? So the third one is what more people have said, like stock split, and many people can't afford for the stock, many low scale investors, because of the price of around 1,180 today. So in case of stock split, most people can afford, and being a really good company, you can also increase the market capitalization, and even if I'm wrong, please correct me. And the suggestion finally is, I'm basically from Tamil Nadu and especially the southern part, Kanyakumari. There are a lot of potential people there, app developers, programmers, engineers and all. Even I'm basically an engineer. And what about setting up a campus in southern part of Tamil Nadu? Is there any idea like that or something, or I just wanted to make a suggestion? So that's it. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, stakeholders on the board and off the board. I have a few points, of which one or two are also direct. I always keep raising this issue about women, but none of the companies in India or anywhere in the world will accept it, I think. And quite surprising that not a single woman is being allowed to come and ask a question, or they are not ready to come and ask a question. There are just 3 or 4 who are representing the boards of most companies. But what companies, what I have seen actually giving importance to women, including a company where a director is sitting in this board, in this dais, I can name it Biocon. They have more women, and I don't know, a day may come when Biocon maybe their incomes or revenues may be overtaking Infosys actually, and the number of women who will be representing the board. And I saw in their AGM, the number of women participating in the AGM also is more. But here I don't see representation, but anyway, I think that's irrelevant. In another AGM or 2, I think I'm going to see it's going to be a futile attempt actually of women participation in India. So women should come forward. That's what I am just requesting, that women should come and ask relevant questions. But why aren't women investors coming to AGMs? Why aren't this one? It's both the women to answer and even the company also. Because when I see at the registration desk, there are no women who are responsible for it. But anyway, sorry if I have taken 1 minute of your time in that. But I have 3, 4 more points. This is an issue which I would like to highlight. Everyone is talking about traffic menace and many other things. But thanks to Infosys, 20 years back, Infosys was the one responsible for, in a big way, to create our city as an IT city. It was already a science city through Indian Institute of Science. But due to Infosys, it was called a technology city. But now, instead of being called a garden city or a lake city, we are turning it into a garbage city. And recently, I had an instance I would like to share just in a few seconds. I have a straight direct point to the investors also here, and sorry, my apologies here before I say this. Recently in my neighborhood, I saw there was an employee of Infosys who was throwing a sack of garbage right near a park area actually, when it is actually against the rules of the BBMP. If you are actually creating a culture of educated infoscions, which investors also are supposed to be and employees also are supposed to be. Employees are also stakeholders. Why don't you create more responsible employees outside Infosys rather than inside Infosys? When they are inside Infosys, they are responsible. But when they are outside Infosys, can they be so irresponsible? And I have one point to quote here. Sorry if I'm taking just 2 more minutes of your time. I'm really sorry, though I know it's too late. And the Mumbai team is also waiting. I apologize to the Mumbai team also that please bear with me. In today's newspaper, Deccan Herald, there is an article saying that BBMP, with the assistance of the mayor, is planning to install garbage wardens to check people who dump garbage in different places, actually. Infosys may be taking an initiative through the Infosys Foundation. I have read it that Infosys Foundation is doing some work in this regard. But what about your employees? What kind of responsibility are you going to take of such carelessness? And here I have a direct attack here. My apologies to all the investors here again. I see in this own auditorium, actually, you have distributed a bunch of juices to each one of them. I see right in front here in the first row, someone has drunk a juice bottle and dumped the juice bottle in front of the chair there. If we see count the number of juice bottles which would have been dumped around this auditorium, we see the carelessness of, I will accept I am also responsible for it. Is there a need for a spoon feeding from the directors that saying, please act more responsible, please ensure that you don't throw garbage here and there? My only suggestion is, why don't you please put up a board or something saying that be responsible investors, dump garbage in a particular zone and keep this a litter-free zone. If I say just one more point here, this same auditorium, I have actually seen a music performance happening few months back. When there was a music performance happening, this was not a litter zone. This is at present now not a litter-free zone. This is almost a litter zone is what I say. If you collect the amount of litter garbage which investors have thrown here, it will be more than 5 kgs or 10 kgs. I know that is not going to impact Infosys returns in any way. So if you're going to say, if the investors are going to say, how is it going to impact my share market? You say that you are being Infosys, being more and being culturally rich. Why don't you be more culturally rich, responsible and more positive to change the view, mindset of your own Infosys apart from the investors who are participating in this AGM? Sorry, my points are very aggressive here. Thank you anyway, but I'll come to 2 more points relevant to the annual report. In your expenses, you have mentioned that I am unable to quote the page number. The communication expenses has considerably come down, while the travel expenses have considerably gone up, when the reverse is supposed to be true. Travel expenses in 2015 was some figure, I can't quote it, you know it better. 2016, the travel expenses have gone up. Communication expenses, 2015 was some figure. In 2016, it has come down. Communication should go up, travel should come down, especially when you have offshore businesses being promoted and when there is a great person like Trump also who is likely to be the president, or even if he's not the president, he's going to have a big say even if he's in the opposition of USA. People can't write him off even if he's not the president because he's after all going to sit in the US opposition. So that is one point relevant to the communication expenses, if you can throw some light. And one more instance, recently, you have already introduced, I appreciate one fact, in fact, in the process of criticism, I think in the entire few minutes I've spoken, I have completely criticized you. I'm sincerely sorry for that. But you have recently introduced a web check-in facility, I appreciate it. But I don't know how many people are aware about it. I was given an ID number when I registered for the web check-in facility online, which was 555006. But when I visited the desk for the registration, I was told to share the OTP, which is called a one-time password. So the OTP was just taken away from me and it was immediately punched in. I think no one will be aware about the web check-in, or there will be 1 in 10 people only who will be aware about this web check-in facility. I don't know, when you are introducing such new tech-savvy initiatives, why don't you promote it? If you promote it, there will be more people who will be registering for the web check-in facility. There will be less use of paper. There will be less garbage which will be accumulating outside your AGMs. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just optimistic that things will happen better the next year, actually. But one point note I will end with. This is also again a criticism. Sorry. You are saying be Infosys, be more. Actually, in Vishal Sikka's presentation, it was actually be Infosys, be more. Here it is being Infosys, being more. Your presentation also in the beginning was almost like being and it was not be. So I hope you would have got my point. It should be rather be Infosys, promote your culture. I think I should have been brief, but I was not brief. I will be brief next time. I will be brief next time. I repeat, but
thank you.
I hope you please maintain that be and being the respect to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone more? Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Leela Krishna. I am pursuing MBA in the Christ University second year. I have only two questions. One is related to the financial aspect and other one is the culture aspect. Okay. So coming to the financial aspect, I heard one statement given by the R. Narayan Murthy, our founder of the Infosys. So employees are not expense. They are treated should be added assets to the company. So now coming to the Vishal Sikka strategy, that is the new renew automation something. Okay. So when the automation happens, so unemployment will be rise. So is it not contrary to the Narayan Murthy statements? And one more. So unemployment decreases means these people are saving their salaries expenditure. That means again the cash reserves will be increased. So cash reserves will increase means again the liquid assets will be increased. So already company is maintaining 45.1% of the liquid assets. So how will it be managed? And the second one is about the culture. If we ask some outside person if you want to join into the Infosys company, everyone is saying yeah, because they work culture is very nice. If automation happens, it's nearly someone said actually 40% will be unemployment will be rise by the 5 years. So how will you manage this culture? These are the two questions. Thank you for this opportunity.
You done? Thank you. Can we connect to Mumbai? Niladri?
Good evening. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Niladri here.
Please carry on.
We have some few members here.
Yeah.
We have Nigel is here. Gautam K. Tiwari, can you please come? Nigel Gonsalves is there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Honorary Chairman, sir. Eminent, very, very eminent board of directors and my fellow shareholders, good evening to you. So in fact, first of all, we would like to express our lot of happiness that you are allowing us to contribute even from Bombay, wide video conference in this large institutional meeting. Sir, in fact, I have been a very long-standing shareholder and we have been, I never knew the selling of these shares, and whatever I kept on getting as bonus and even split, we have just accumulated it all together till now, and we are aware as to how much returns we have got with this shareholding, and so far we haven't got any return from any company to this extent. Sir, I am very happy that our Bhishma Pitama, Shri Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, our Seshasai, even Vishal Sikka, even now Kiran Majumdar, they have added such a good value and enhanced shareholders' value from date to date and have brought this company to the number one position. Sir, I have been another good thing, very, very happy we are about it, that our dividend distribution policy. Sir, a lot of companies we have seen that when the going is good, they keep their dividend, the part of the dividend, major part of the dividend along with them in the way to expansion. And when the going is bad, they just nullify the dividend, they don't give. Here, from 30% to 40% to 50% we are distributing, which shows that what a good and great confidence the management has in its own ability to achieve the proper progress, sustainability, continuous growth without retaining a greater portion of profits and distributing it to the shareholders and stakeholders. We really salute Vishal Sikka ji, the hat trick which you have done within a year's period. You have made our shares fourfold giving 2 bonuses. It is really marvelous. We really salute. And Mr. Narayan Murthy, sir, in fact, when we purchased your share, way back when it has come in the IPO, we never ever could think that this share will give us such a booming dividend and rather booming appreciation to our value of these shareholders. So we once again shall salute you, sir, and we express that the same thing will continue. We are very lucky to have such an eminent board of directors. Each one has got such a good confidence. Mr. Vishal Sikka is the real miracle of this world. The way he has done it, we really are very happy about it. Sir, solar energy, as far as solar energy is concerned, we have got it in Hyderabad. Now, how many more cities we would like to how many more cities we are going to expand this? And sir, what is the next 2 to 3 years capex? We have got still lot of potential. We have still got lot of potential in our Infosys, and I am very sure it is still going to discover better and better values for the investors in the years to come. I am very happy, sir, in the years to come, in the time to come, Infosys will keep on giving such rewards, and very well congratulate the company for winning various awards and for the shareholders' value appreciation in and out of the time again and again. Thank you very much, sir, for patiently listening.
Thank you.
Chairman, sir, members of the board, and my dear fellow shareholders, I am Nigel Gonsalves. At the outset, I would like to commend Dr. Vishal Sikka and his team for the remarkable transformation that I have seen in Infosys in such a short span of time. Recently, a few days back, Economic Times carried this report in which it said that under the watch of Dr. Vishal Sikka, Infosys market cap is appreciated by approximately 1 lakh crores. And he has pulled up Infosys when it was struggling in the dumps. And I'm really optimistic in the year ahead, we will see much better times. Now, just a few points I want to talk about. Sir, in your annual report, you have been talking a lot about design thinking, and more than 90,000 employees have been trained. I would like to know what are the incremental revenues and cost savings we can expect to get by this design thinking. Now, sir, in your report, you have mentioned that the company has got liquid assets of USD 5.2 billion, that is around 35,000 crores. I would like to know, does the company have inorganic growth plans to make any acquisitions, particularly in those sectors where the company is weak, for example, for example, the insurance sector? And there's a huge potential in India for the defense sector, particularly for the local firms. So does Infosys have any plans to tap into this vast market, sir? Now, sir, Infosys has on its board very eminent chairperson, Biocon, Mrs. Kiran Madhurendra Shaw. Why doesn't the company not try to explore tie-up with Biocon for providing IT services for new drug discovery? Now, sir, the US is a main market for Infosys, and we see that there is increasing protectionism in the US, particularly in as far as it concerns jobs. Now, we are seeing increasingly in the US Republican candidate, Mr. Donald Trump, is very outspoken about drastically reducing outsourcing. So in such a scenario, sir, how does Infosys plan to de-risk your portfolio and try to get more business from somewhere else? And lastly, sir, what is the company's expenditure plan? What is our capex plan for the year? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Respected Chairman Mr. Vishal Sikka, Board of Directors, Shareholders and Team Infosys. I am a humble shareholder and my name is Mihir Manek. I am a global supply chain expert and worked all over the world and studied in North America. Infosys is 35 years young. I thank the management for generous dividends and a high dividend payout ratio. Software industry and Infosys has made India proud in eyes of developed countries because of superior service and solutions at an economical cost. The balance sheet is perfect in all respects, and I won't go into the details as it is very informative. Infosys should concentrate on consolidation, profitability and sustainability. I support Mr. Vishal Sikka's vision of $20 billion turnover by 2020, which is realistic and achievable vision. Behind every successful enterprise is a leader and a dedicated team. Directors know their job, and I wish them further success in coming years and better results in the years to come. As technology evolves, new frontiers open, and artificial intelligence is one of them. Can the board throw light on artificial intelligence and Infosys as an emerging player? Also, one of the earlier speakers has said about the federal rate hike and Donald Trump coming to power, and H1B will be in threat. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, Namaste from Mumbai. All are respected here, those who are attending meeting, listening. Coming to the point, already so many people have spoken, I don't want to repeat the financials, but as Mr. Chairman and Sikka said that we are problem finder. What will be the problem you are going to assess in the future, next 2-3 years? How you are going to solve that? Particular growth. How you are going to tackle optimum utilization of your liquid asset. As India, I still need so many helping hand. Your revenue in dollar terms in America, what you are budgeted spending on Indian CRS and other activity, we are far behind. Particularly in irrigation, we are facing drought, even Karnataka is facing drought. One person is speaking about the congestion in Bangalore. Is it the right time to rethink your location from near Bangalore or suburb to develop new city Infosys? There's all facility of education, facility, no traffic jam, and some person I acknowledge and appreciate. I had spoken, I could not remember his name, I appreciate. I wish good luck for the future. Just throw some light for the future growth. We are going to, and challenges, particularly American, whatever American, our company will stand, and great future ahead. Thank you and good luck.
माननीय चेयरमैन श्री शेषाशायी जी तथा बोर्ड पर उपस्थित और अपने श्री विशाल जी और बोर्ड पर उपस्थित मान्यवर डायरेक्टर्स, सर मेरा नाम स्मिता शाह। सर फर्स्ट टू आपको एक्सेलेंट रिजल्ट और एक्सेलेंट परफॉर्मेंस के लिए आपको हार्दिक अभिनंदन, और एक्सेलेंट एंड वेल एंड गुड बैलेंस शीट के लिए, और हमें एवरी ईयर रेगुलर बिफोर टाइम मिलती आ रही है। सो हम कंपनी सेक्रेटरी श्री मणिकांता जी और उनकी टीम, साथ में बम्बई टीम, सभी को हार्दिक धन्यवाद देती हूँ। सर मैं ज्यादा तो नहीं बोलूंगी, और मेरी कोई न तो क्वेरी है, क्योंकि अपनी इन्फोसिस कंपनी बम्बई में नंबर 1 जो है, और आपके 5 साल के हाईलाइट देखे तो रेवेन्यू, नेट प्रॉफिट और नंबर ऑफ क्लाइंट एंड नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉय, सभी चीजों को लेकर देखे तो सभी में बढ़ोतरी है। और सर आपने अभी शेयर होल्डरों को भी 2 टाइम्स बोनस देकर बहुत ही खुश कर दिया है, धन्यवाद सर। तो बस ऐसे ही तरक्की की मोड़ पर आगे बढ़े, और आने वाले 5 साल के अंदर हमें 1+2 बोनस भी जरूर दे सर, ये हमारी उम्मीद है और डिमांड भी है सर। और सर मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप एजीएम बेंगलोर में जो रखते हो और ऑल ओवर सभी शेयर होल्डरों को आप ये मीटिंग में इंक्लूड करते हो, तो आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है। लेकिन आप बैलेंस शीट में जो एजीएम का प्लेस बेंगलोर का देते हो, तो क्या साथ में आप बम्बई का एजीएम का प्लेस भी नहीं छपा सकते हो क्या? अगर छपाते तो अच्छा रहता, ताकि बम्बई वालों को हर साल प्लेस पूछना पड़ता है, क्योंकि लास्ट ईयर आपका 4 सीजन रखा था तो सब बहुत सारे को दिक्कत आई थी। तो अगर हो सके तो बम्बई का भी प्लेस नेक्स्ट ईयर बैलेंस शीट में छपाने की कृपा करे। बाकी तो सभी रिजोल्यूशन में फुल्ली सपोर्ट करते हुए, बेस्ट विशेष के देते हुए धन्यवाद सर।
थैंक यू मैडम। Are we done?
We'll connect.
Niladri? Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Yeah, please.
Good evening, Chairman, Managing Director, Directors, and my dear fellow shareholders from Bangalore as well as in Mumbai. First and foremost, I thank the Chairman, Managing Director for declaring excellent results. Of course, no doubt, your very first page shows beautifully being Infosys, being more. After all, being human, you have to do something, sir. Being a human and human being. Now, looking at it, the report, you have selected the date as 18/06/2016. Now what is that? 1 plus 8 is 9, and the year 2016, 2 plus 1 plus 6, that is 9. So if we refer to page number 9, what it refers to you and me, sir. Page number showing a tribute to KV Kamath. Why? Because Shisha Tosai is coming as the chairman. Of course, no doubt. I appreciate it because no longer you can keep Kamath, but you have to give somebody else also a chance. So that is beautifully done on that. And of course, no doubt, since it's the month of June, page number 6, what it reveals to you and me, sir? Nothing. It's UP Rajiv Rao's photograph shown over there, beautifully smiling, and Chief Operating Officer. And below that you are given, so we may be more. That's beautifully projected also. Why do we say more, sir? Ye dil mange mo. It comes like that. This time we expected also bonus from you, sir. But fortunately, to bad luck, we could not stand a chance. But I will give you a suggestion, sir. Next year it's 2017. So I'll just give you 2 alphas and 2 numerics. That is NO17. I'm sitting here and you're sitting opposite to me. If you look at it, what is that? It's lion, maker, brand of India. Of course, no doubt, I will look down the lines here. Now we have the founder, Narayan Murthy. I call him in short because it's too long for me, NAMU, N-A-M-U. Now why do I call him that way, sir? Next year, you're having the founder and the year 2017. So the opposite thing is, when you reverse it down, it's L-I-O-N. So he's considered to be as the lion of the company. Of course, no doubt. Why don't we take him back as a president? For Vishal Sikke and Vishal Sikka, sorry. Sikka, because of Sikka number na, uske liye ho gaya problem. And Shisha Sai, I would like to give you a piece of advice, sir. You want to take it, it's free of cost. You take them back in the board, use the brain power, what they're having, 3 years down the line, let you all do the MBA degree from him. And of course, no doubt, there will be some consideration for the future growth and you could have more mindset. So with this, I support all the resolutions and thank the management for patient listening. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My views are as follows. We and TCS have same and equal cash amount. The TCS invested rupees 21,000 crores in mutual fund, particularly in this financial year. In our case, promoter holds 13.7% shares. Out of this, only 23.75% of promoters voted in your favor for reappointing you as a MD and CEO. We have sufficient cash to buy back shares at a handsome or a demand price by promoters' shareholders who are not voted in your favor, as now promoter shareholders are just like any other shareholders. At this stage, this is the first choice for investing our cash and in future 100% voting in your favor. You said on 16th April 16, I am not disappointed. I do not care. I still respect founders. Instead, we must act so that non-favoring founders gets handsome money and you get 100% support. I have asked TCS to give few Sikkas coins to shareholders, that is 2 bonus shares for every 100 shares to avoid additional 10% tax on dividend. You should not promise shareholders if you are not able to fulfill that. In last AGM, you willingly yourself promised Mysore visit and nothing has worked out. Thank you, sir.
Just wait.
Respected Chairman and other distinguished director, my name is Berus Faramros. Sir, at the outset, I would like to congratulate Rupa Kudwa on joining our board because we were missing her on CRISIL board. So when she was the managing director of CRISIL, was performing very well, and even Madam Mazumdar Shah, we met you at the Bombay Stock Exchange when you told that my Biocon shares are very underpriced, and subsequently the share price has boomeranged. So we are very much that two ladies are there on the board, and we hope that more ladies will be on the board. Thank you very much, and we support all your resolutions.
Thank you.
Respected Chairman, eminent Board of Directors, dear shareholders from Bangalore as well as from Bombay, and my dear friends. I'm Mrs. Patel. First, I would like to I would like to have special thanks to Mr. Manikantha and Rekha. I wave a hand to you and Mrs. Patel for all the thanks, all the help, and all the support that you have given me, along with the information which I needed. I wish the whole team, the Secretariat team, all the very best. Now I quickly ask a few questions first. Is there any chance of increase in your promoter stake? Second, sir, your SCAVA and Infosys POV on open space technology. If you could explain me this a little, which you have already mentioned in few sentences on page 21. If you can explain me a little. Your Edge, Verve, your Kalidas and Noha Consulting LLC. Is it that you have sold all the three? And for how much consideration is this amount? What is the profit? And if you have sold, if the profit is there, how this profit has been used. I congratulate the whole team of Infosys on the various awards that you have received. The whole team of Secretariat, along with the management, have played a very excellent role in achieving this award.
We have a glitch there. You can get on the phone.
Way to go. You have Mr. Praveen Rao, the CEO, your CFO, also Mr. Mohit Joshi, Ravi Kumar and Sandeep Badlani. I'm sure all of them will support you, encourage you and help you to get very good results. We are all the, you have all the bases, and I am sure that these people will be a wall along with on which you can have trust and reliability.
Madam,
please, I also want please wait. Sir, your SCOVA technology is used by global retailers on mobile, desktop and tablets. Are there any different channels also on mobile that we can use this SCOVA technology? If you can tell us that. Then Infosys have come out with Infosys platform. That is IIP, IIA and Panaya. Are there any software components, products used in cloud? Are these products used in cloud? Anyway, I once again congratulate the whole team and wish them all the very best.
Thank you.
We have one more person to speak. Thank you. Last. Well, the time is over, so I would just first, before I speak on the agenda, I will not speak irrelevant. But thing is that time should be equally distributed at the other place as well as Bombay also. There should be some signaling system by which the shareholder will restrict to his timing. First of all, I would say congratulations to all Narayan Murthy Sahab, Chairman, Vishal Board and his executive team.
for achieving the multidimensional unprecedented achieved in all the respect of other than the business. Company achieved in all the 4 quarters of healthy growth. With the inclusion of Punita Kumar and extension of Jeff Lehman, we expect the achievement in the global microeconomics, finance and investment management. We hope and say good wishes to achieve the target, to achieve the US $20 billion revenue by 2020. Thank you very much, and I hope next time we will get a time. Since the time is out, I am restricting my comments here itself. Thank you, and once again congratulate.
Thank you. No, thank you, sir. You have just...
So, Chairman, sir, and Board of Directors, my name is P.K. Agnihotri, sir. I have a very small question to ask because few days back only our CEO, Sikka Sahab, has forewarned us that there will be a drop of 2% in our earnings in this particular quarter, maybe due to Brexit or the yen appreciation. So I would like to know how the problems are being tackled by you at your end so that we shareholders continue to enjoy the benefits and fruits. Number 2, sir, we shareholders from Mumbai, every year we come here and gather and see you on the screen. Is there any possibility for us to have a half-yearly, an official meeting at least in Mumbai, so that all of you are in front of us on the board and we have interaction one-to-one to you? Thank you, sir, very much. I support all the resolutions.
Thank you. Thank you,
sir.
much.
Thank you.
Let me first thank all the shareholders both in Bangalore and in Mumbai for taking so much interest and giving us your valuable suggestions and guidance. I'm truly overwhelmed by the fact that there is so much of goodwill for the company amongst all of you, and so very touched by the fact that there is so much appreciation for the very good work that the management has done in the last year. Let me try and cover all the questions that have been raised, and I will also request Vishal to supplement the answers that I would seek to give. Mr. Sadanand Shastri, as usual, very insightful questions. On solar energy, we do have solar energy up to 85% being covered in Karnataka. It's our stated goal to move towards significant coverage of our power requirement through renewable resource. And we are really proud of the very, very good work that's being done under the leadership of Ramdas Kamath, who is here. In fact, this is recognized not merely here nationally, but internationally. You had a question relating to the release of 4,000 people, and what that means is that as a result of the effort in automation, we have had the benefit of getting automation to do the job of about 4,000 people, but they have been deployed in more value-adding jobs. There is this question that has been raised by others also, whether the automation is going to result in reduction of manpower, is it going to result in unemployment? In a larger context, certainly automation has this effect of reducing human effort. But I'm sure Vishal will cover later on, which has been his subject of expertise. But we all believe that as this happens, there will also be corresponding kind of an increase in the requirement of people with greater skills in amplification of the ability of human beings in addressing various issues. And therefore, I think this is clearly the way to go, that we have more value-adding contribution from human, while the less value-added job is being done by machines. This is unstoppable as a technology direction. And we will attempt to do exactly that, that we will have more value-adding job coming out of Infosys as a result of the automation exercise that we are currently embarking on. You raised an issue about bonus shares. There is no mandatory requirement that to issue bonus shares, but as you know, in the last 18 months, We've had 2 issue of bonus shares. This is something which will be continuously be looked at and addressed by the board, and whenever the board believes that there is an occasion to, it's relevant to look at this issue and issue bonus shares, we will certainly do so. The establishment expenses have gone up in relation to the growth of the business. The interest income has come down because the interest rates have come down on the deposits, and the other income has slightly moderated. As a result of that, there has been a reduction in other income. There was a question about CEO compensation. I think a couple of shareholders raised this question. As I said right at the beginning in my chairman's speech, we believe that we need to get the most competitive talent to come and work for our company. And this is not talent only within the country. At every level, we believe that we must get globally competitive talent. And in line with that principle, we certainly believe that if we have an outstanding leader like Vishal, who has not only got the leadership in technology, but he's also an outstanding leader of people. And it's quite evident what he has done to the fortunes of this company. We have a lot more to gain from very good leadership team. And as a part of this exercise, we believe that we must compensate not merely the chief executive, but also the team adequately and competitively. Now, there are 2 components to it. One is the part relating to the cash component, and the other is the part linked to the stock component, which is linked again to the performance of the company. I do not think that there are many companies in India. Perhaps I could say that there's no company in India which has stated a long-term goal in quantified terms and have linked the CEO compensation very, very clearly to those goals. And this is something which has been done keeping in mind that we have to chart a very aggressive rate of growth for this company to add value to the shareholders significantly, and therefore we believe that we need a motivated team, motivated and properly compensated team of leaders who can take this company forward in this direction. And therefore we've also been taking your approval for rolling out an ESOP plan, which is underway. And in the next few months, we will also have other tiers in the leadership getting covered by the ESOP plan. So all in all, we believe that it is important to get talent at the right kind of compensation, and we will continue to pursue this not merely at the top, but at every level in the organization. There's a question about investment in HDFC Bank. We have a very rigorous process of ensuring the choice of banks where we place our fixed deposits. It takes into account the capital adequacy, it takes into account the balance sheet strength of the bank, and based on the interest rates. And based on that, we have a chart of priorities, and the allocation is done on that basis. As you know, HDFC is a very strong bank, strong on many counts, and therefore it is not surprising that they have a slightly larger proportion of the investments that we are making. Mr. Ramurthy, you raised a question about subsidiaries. I think there have been also other people who have raised this issue. Yes, there are some subsidiaries which are not as profitable as the parent company. And these are in various nascent stages. Some of them recently acquired companies which will become profitable, will become viable in the next few years, some in the next few quarters. And there are others which will take a slightly longer time frame. But we believe that these are good for building the future of the company. And therefore, at this point of time, these investments we believe are valuable. But in terms of the consolidation, it is true that the subsidiaries' performance being slightly inferior to the parent company performance, that overall profitability does have some dip. Mr. Satyendra Kumar, you raised this question about the U.S. Election scene. We are watching this very carefully. Certainly, this is a very important market for us. Any development, both politically and economically, will have a significant impact on the business of Infosys. But we are certainly working with all governments in all countries in a very positive fashion. And our engagement has always been very constructive. We don't get involved in politics, but with the government of the country, we certainly have very good engagement, very positive engagement. And to the extent that it is necessary to put across a viewpoint which is valid, which is truthful, and which is in the interest of the company, we certainly would be doing that to all political leaderships in all countries. I will leave the bit relating to innovation to Vishal. He has already covered that, and he might want to also add on to what he has already said. There was a question about creditors, a five-fold increase in creditors. We pay our creditors on due dates. There are no overdue payments. Out of the 623 crores, about 145 crores relate to subsidiaries. And these are all, again, strictly on the basis of arm's length arrangement on credit terms. So this is not unusual hike in the creditors' numbers. Mr. Ramana Reddy, you made a suggestion about the stock split. The board will certainly look at appropriate time. We recognize that the individual stock prices are such that the small shareholders will find it easier if the stock split takes place. So we'll certainly take your advice into account. Mr. Badarajan, you talked about the transportation being a problem in the city. I want to share with you that almost 75% of the employees of Infosys in Bangalore use public transport, and therefore lessening the load on the road. We also work very constructively with the government in relation to the Metro 2, Metro 3 phases. We would be very happy to be working with the government on designing smart city solutions on transportation. We certainly are very conscious of the responsibility that we have as an important corporate citizen in not only in Bangalore but in other cities as well. And I want to give you this assurance that we are not blindsided to our responsibility as a corporate citizen. This is something that we would certainly be applying our mind on. There was this suggestion that we should be building toilets particularly for girl students. Mrs. Murthy was here, and I would have most liked her to share the excellent work that's being done by Infosys Foundation. We, in fact, have done more than, I think, 15,000 toilets in the state of Karnataka alone. We are building now in Bhubaneswar, in Odisha. Providing toilets in girls' schools is part of our priority in the CSR activities. And this is something which we have done for many years, much before that this was launched as a national campaign. I'm very proud to say that Infosys had indeed committed itself to providing these facilities and has done a stupendous job, and we'll continue to focus on this. There was a suggestion that we should look at building our own institute of technology. Well, this is something which is very interesting, but I believe that we can do a lot more in terms of providing support to higher education in many ways, and not necessarily building institutions. And again, our CSR activities cover that as well. A number of shareholders raises request about visit to the Mysore campus. We'd be very happy to have you with us on the campus. Anyone who desires to visit, please let our secretarial department know. We will assemble the right numbers and arrange for your visit at the right time. But please bear with us if it is going to take some time to do this, because rather than doing this individually, we will try to do this collectively. And also bear with us if we have to turn down some of the requests, because the number of shareholders is so large, we do not think that it would be appropriate to have too many such trips, which should not result in the disruption of the work. But we'll balance that, and we certainly appreciate your interest in visiting our campus, and we will certainly take steps to see how we can address this requirement. There was a suggestion to look at delivery centers in Amravati. We'll certainly keep that in mind. One of the senior members referred to our providing incentives to go to small towns. This will certainly be a priority for us. We need to be building more delivery centers in smaller towns and disperse our employees across the country. And this would be a committed kind of a policy for us to move forward in the future as well. Mr. Gopal Rao, you raised the question as to what is the responsibility of independent directors. If you go to page 80 of the annual report, you would find that all the governance requirements were stated in great detail. But let me say in a very brief statement that independent directors are your eyes and ears, your shareholders' eyes and ears, of all shareholders, eyes and ears in the board. And this is precisely how all of us look at our role. And we want to assure you that our responsibility for all of you to make sure that we hold on to the highest standards of governance, that the strategic direction in which the company progresses adds significant value to the shareholders, and that we have the right kind of talent and leadership. All of that is being kept in mind by all our colleagues on the board, and this has been detailed in our governance statement in the annual report. We are governed by the insider trading requirements, regulations, not only in India, but also in the US, because we are listed in both places. And I can assure you that these are very, very rigorously enforced and observed. Our leadership training is intended only for the company. We have a very strong leadership development program. I'm not sure about what other alternates we have in meeting places in city, but we will have a discussion on that. I think this has been looked at repeatedly over the years, and I think it is now being concluded that this is perhaps the most optimal kind of place in the city. Mr. Neil, you raised the issue relating to Mr. Rajiv Bansal, and I want to take this opportunity to make some elaborate statements on that, because there's also been some news reports in the media about the payment made to Rajiv Bansal. Let me make firstly the statement that the separation of Rajiv Bansal was a cordial, mutually agreed decision in the interest of both the individual and the organization. The import of the news reports, unfortunately, was that there was a very generous payment made to Rajiv, and because it was generous, it was intended to silence Rajiv and against making any statements, and therefore there was something to be hidden by the company. I want to take this opportunity to categorically state that there is absolutely nothing to hide, and I want to assure all of you that the financial statements conform to the highest levels of integrity, that every transaction in the company is subject to the highest level of probity and integrity. And I make the statement on the basis not merely of the fact that these financial statements are certified by a very qualified firm of chartered accountants. I'm making the statement on the basis that I personally and Rupa Kudva, who chairs our audit committee, have applied ourselves to looking at every piece of very sensitive information. It's a very sensitive financial information that needs to be looked into for the purpose of assurance that we meet the highest standards of integrity in our financial statements. And I can assure you that any murmur from anywhere, whatever whistleblower complaint, even if it is anonymous, even if it is very, very trivial, is looked at very seriously, because we are conscious of the fact that this company was built on the basis of some very high standards of ethics and probity, and it is our responsibility, as I said, as your representatives, to ensure that there is no dilution whatsoever on those principles. And it is from that point of view I can give you this assurance that this is a completely baseless kind of suggestion that has come about, unfortunately, in a section of the media. The amount that has been paid to Rajiv consists of really two parts. One part is the payment that was due to him in any case as an employee, partly as a key management personnel, and beyond October as an executive, and that amount was 6.53 crores. The severance pay was 17.38 crores, which is 24 months pay. The two together have been the total amount that has been disclosed. Out of the severance pay, the amount that has been paid is less, and it is only the first two installments. There have been 8 more installments that will be paid running up to January 2018. But we have chosen to make this disclosure of the accrued amount as well, and this has been done even in the third quarter, and it has also been made as a part of the financial statements, our filings now. Now, the reason why this is probably considered generous is because that there has been not enough understanding of all the factors that were taken into account. I'm sure that Vishal will also cover this, but it took into account 3 things. One is that Rajiv had been with the company for 16 years and had made significant contribution, and we wanted to acknowledge his contribution. Second is that he was, as CFO, he was privy to a lot of very price-sensitive information, as CFOs are, and more than the business heads. And it is important to ensure that there was no leakage of information in any manner, and therefore there was clearly the arrangement that price-sensitive information should not be, confidential information should not be parted with. As a part of this, there was also non-compete, extended non-compete arrangement that was entered into as a part of this. Now, if there had been an issue relating to any silencing, the agreement would not have this clause, and I want to disclose this clause to you. The clause which in the agreement says that he has got every right to report to the regulator, whether it is SEC or SEBI. That itself must convince you that there is no issue relating to silencing, and therefore I'm taking this opportunity, although that you have not raised this issue, but I'm using this opportunity to address some of the others, particularly in some section of the media, which is somewhat, unfortunately, given this a twist. And I therefore hope that this could be put to rest with this detailed explanation that I have chosen to give you. Ms. Narasimhan raised this issue of rate of sales, which I have already dealt with. Mr. Ashok Chakravarti raised this issue about red flags. Can we hold back? I think it is in the best interest of the shareholders and the investors to share whatever we know of the business conditions with the investors so that they are completely in line with the happenings to guide them to make the decision to invest in the company or sell from the company. And this has always been our principle. We have been giving guidance. Some companies don't, but we have chosen to do that only because we want to guide the investors appropriately based on the knowledge that we have. And it is in that context when we believe that perhaps the market has a different understanding of the immediate future of the growth prospects of the company or the growth trajectory of the company, and we believe the market needs to be guided properly. Whether it is upward guidance or downward guidance, we choose to make that statement just in order to be responsible for the investors in their decision making. There was a proposal, there was a suggestion that we should consider buyback. The board will you will consider this at the appropriate time. There was a suggestion that a very good suggestion that we should be very conscious of the use of land. I want to assure you that this is something that we are focused on. The use of land and buildings to be more productive, considering the fact that land is going to be scarce. It already is. By the way, the land allocation in Mysore was done several decades ago, and we are certainly conscious of the fact that agricultural land should not be alienated and given to industry use, and we will keep that in mind whenever we go to any new cities for procurement of new land for our requirement. productivity of land, productivity of space will continue to be our guiding factor. Mr. Harsha, you raised some questions relating to 2020, and I would leave that to Vishal to elaborate. Ms. Ramkrishnan, you raised a question about are you eligible or are you entitled to look at the minutes? Of course, the minutes are available with the register. We would certainly look at the possibility of putting that on the website for you to look at. We'll consider that. You also made a very interesting suggestion that we also need to make a more pictorial kind of messaging in our annual report. I will certainly have a serious look at that, and next year we will try and see what we can do to further improve the quality of the information and the messaging that we do. Ms. Davis, you raised the question about the impact of Brexit and the impact of Fed. These are very important issues, as I said. The happenings, the political developments in the large markets that we operate in have very significant impact on our business conditions, but these are things which are beyond our control. But what is within our control is to make sure that we are not vulnerable to major event risks of this nature, and therefore we conduct our business in a manner that we take these risks into account and we mitigate these risks by appropriate hedging strategies. The risk committee of the board is engaged in looking at these very risks. There is enough attention being paid to some of these large macro level risks, and we also look at what we need to be doing in order to face and mitigate some of these risks, and how do we hedge our operations in this manner. There was a question about why the travel expenses have gone up. Travel expenses have gone up in relation to the growth in the business. Correspondingly, the communication expenses have come down. There have been some cost control measures that have been taken to bring that down. Cost control measures have also been taken to bring down travel, but nevertheless, as a result of larger volume of business and larger travel that it entails, these expenses have gone up. There was a very useful suggestion that we ought to publicize the web check-in. We will try and certainly look at that. Mr. Leelakrishnan, as a student, you made some very interesting observations. Employees are certainly not expenditure. We certainly look at employees as investments. We certainly think that there is a value addition with every employee in the company. That's precisely what the business is all about. I already mentioned that the automation, while certainly it will have some impact in terms of reducing the number of people for doing a particular job, other jobs will come about, more value-adding jobs will come about, more skill development will happen. And as a result of this, our investments in skill development, our investments in training and development of our employees, in order to meet these emerging demand, will also increase. Our dividend distribution policies has been stated in the last couple of years. We have addressed this issue. We've raised this payout from 30 to 50% as a guidance. We'll continue to work on the basis, for the present, on the basis that 50% of the profit earnings will be distributed by way of dividend. This is not cast in stone. We will revisit this as and when it is necessary. But the balance 50%, you will appreciate, is required to address capital expenditure needs of the company. It will also be required to address the opportunities that might arise as a part of the inorganic growth aspirations that we have. We do work with, on our life sciences vertical a lot with large global clients. I will carry your recommendation to my colleague Kiran Mazumdar to look at what he can do to engage Infosys. Madam Smita Shah raised this question, can we have the AGM? In Mumbai, I'm afraid we can't. There's a company law requirement that it can only take place in the state in which the office is situated. But as you know, we are probably one of the very few companies who are reaching out to Mumbai and giving an opportunity for us to interact with the shareholders. We'll continue to do that. Let me say that it is not, at least certainly not my principle, to muffle the shareholders in an AGM or to try and cut down the time allotted for the shareholders. We are prepared as a board to devote that time, to listen to you, to take back the suggestions seriously and act on that. And therefore, I would only request you to bear with us if this is going to be a longish kind of a meeting and you have more people both in Bangalore and Mumbai wanting to talk to us. We will certainly be very keen to do that. Of course, my request continues to be that you should be brief and not be repetitive. But this is an opportunity for us to interact with the shareholders, and it is not our intention to ring a bell or to stop anyone from saying what he or she desires to say. Investments in mutual funds is technically feasible, but we are very cautious in terms of how we deploy your funds. We certainly, as I said, take into account the safety, the security, and the viability and the profitability. And therefore, we have a very, very rigorous process of evaluating even banks where we put our fixed deposits. There were a number of questions raised by Mrs. Patel relating to some of the recent initiatives that we had. Only one correction, we did not sell Calidos' Scava, we actually invested in them. I will leave again to Vishal to answer some of the other questions that you raised. I think I've covered all the questions, or practically all the questions. If I've left out any of these questions that you raised, I'd be happy to take them offline, and we, as always, are available to you, even if it is not during the AGM, for you to raise any queries or clarifications or offer your comments. We'd be delighted to take them forward. And once again, let me thank you for the interest and the involvement that you have exhibited, and the fact that your interests go much beyond just the financial statements to embracing civic issues, the nation-building issues. It's truly something that we should be proud about. Thank you very much. No, there is no exemption. You, as I said, this is available with Bill. Is there a... Anybody want to say?
Yeah, if I can.
Let me answer that point. I think, the CSR budget is drawn up very, very carefully, looking at how we allot funds for a variety of needs, looking at education, health, number of these requirements. I mean, in this vast country, there are so many things that need to be done. We will have to be very careful in the choice of where we put our funds. There are very rigorous processes for making these choices. In fact, you will notice that in the annual report we have, perhaps not many other companies do, but we have given a complete list of where the money goes. We'd be happy if any members have any involvement, engagement in any institution which falls within the directions that we have taken. We'd be happy to do that.
I just wanted to add that you are welcome to apply, because there is a process of applying for any CSR programs, which will be then evaluated, and if it is found to be of the type that we want to carry on with, then certainly there is a process of working with such groups.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran. Vinay, do you want to respond to this question?
If I can add, the entire proceedings of the previous AGM is available on our website. The entire transcript is available. That is also filed with the stock exchanges. You can have a look at this. Is all available on the public domain. Also, the minutes are available for inspection at the registration counters.
Okay, Vishal.
Thank you, Sesh. I will quickly address some of the questions. One question was about the incremental revenue from design thinking and the value of design thinking. Design thinking is a methodology that we use to discover problems, to help our clients understand their next generation problems. We also use design thinking as a way to teach a culture of innovation within the company. And on both these dimensions, design thinking adds significant value. We offer design thinking workshops to our clients, and we have offered several hundred of these already. But beyond the workshops, design thinking, I believe, is a key contributor to our improved win rates. As myself and Praveen mentioned, we had 45% growth in our large deal wins, as well as our client relationships improvement and the top clients' growth are also, to a large degree, impacted by our investments in design thinking. And internally, initiatives like Zero Distance would not be possible without a massive training of design thinking to our employees so that they can bring an imagination and creativity to their work. One of the questions was around 2020 goals, that 18% growth rate is required. By our calculation, by Ranga and my calculation, it is something like 15.7%. It is calendar 2020. As we have said, we have a ambitious aspiration to get there to 20 billion in revenue, 30% margin, and $80,000 revenue per employee. That continues to be our aspiration, our endeavor. We have said that out of that, roughly 16.5 would be from the renewal of our existing services, 2 billion from new services, and at most 1.5 billion or so from acquisitions. This is roughly our split. One cannot hold this to incredibly precisely, but generally speaking, this is our model that we are taking in. We continue to look for acquisition candidates to that effect that will have a multiplier effect, a growth effect on our business. We are not interested in buying yesterday's technology, or we are not interested in increasing our revenue as a result of acquisitions. There are significant risks from disruptions in technology, but our focus on innovation, on a collaborative culture, on collaboration technology, as well as on design thinking, we believe is laying a strong foundation for us to go forward. One of the questions was about Rajiv's compensation. Sesh already addressed that emphatically. I only want to add that all of our board member committees are comprised of independent directors. Myself and Praveen do not participate in committees, so the independence of the board as your representative is unequivocal. I also want to reiterate that I have been in this role as CEO for about 21 months, and the responsibility, the burden of going beyond the governance norms and to the standards that Infosys has always had, that our founders had established, is something that we value, that we have an utmost respect for, and it is our utmost endeavor to ensure that we comply with those. To the question about traffic, Sesh already addressed that. Our contributions locally, we will continue to look for opportunities where we can improve traffic in Bangalore. Myself, I find myself quite a bit of a victim of the traffic situation in Bangalore during my travels. But among other things, one of the things that Ramdas is doing is also improving the experience of our employees on the buses. When they travel, we have on any given day 20,000 person hours of bus time that our employees go through, and it is our endeavor to improve that time and to continue to contribute to and help improve the situation as much as possible. One of the questions from Mr. Neil was about the JL6 delay. That was because of the RSU and the stock option plan that was approved by postal ballot on the 31st of March. Therefore, we missed the window. The participants in the stock option plans are all JL6s and above. So to be able to calculate their new compensations, given the RSUs and options, we needed that extra time. And in July, we expect that with the approval of the necessary RSUs and options, that we'll be able to provide their revised compensation for the time ahead. And it is also important to note that out of the roughly 194,000 Infosians, more than 170,000 already got their salary adjustments on time. In terms of the question about small towns being participating in the growth in small towns, that continues to be a focus area for us. We have several delivery centers in smaller cities like Bhubaneswar and Mangalore and so forth. And we continue to invest in those, and wherever possible, we have several plans going ahead to participate in the growth in smaller cities. To the question about Brexit, we are watching this situation closely. There could be short-term, effects on currency and also potentially on business. We are watching those very closely. And beyond that, as Sesh already said, a lot of these macroeconomic conditions, like the U.S. elections and so forth, these are elements of our environment that we have to operate in. And my general sense is that these kinds of things have an effect on business from time to time. But generally, if you have a company and if you have a strategy that is based on innovation, and when the times are bad, people need innovation, and when the times are good, people need innovation. In terms of the subsidiary performance that Mr. Ramamurthy asked about, this continues to be an area of intense focus for us. Some of the subsidiaries, as Sesh said, are quite young ones. Some are not. This is an area that we are in particular focusing on as a management over the course of this year. Mrs. Smita Ben Shah, તમારો જે પ્રશ્ન હતો, I will say in Gujarati. Actually, I should probably say in English. I will get in trouble for speaking Gujarati on stage. Was about Scava and Noah. These are companies that we acquired. The Kaleidos is the name of the company with the product Scava. EdgeVerve is our subsidiary that is building our software products. That continues to be an area of tremendous excitement for us. We are very excited about some of the products that we are building in our EdgeVerve subsidiary, which will lead this direction, not towards us becoming a product company. As I said, everything is becoming a service, so that will completely miss the point if we wanted to be a product company. But indeed, EdgeVerve builds us the software as a service that helps us amplify our ability in the services that Infosys provides. The question on campus visits Sesh already addressed. We would love to arrange that. One of you pointed out that the beginning of my slides was being Infosys, being more, and the end was be Infosys, be more. I want to assure you that that was by design. I take my slides very seriously, and the glitch that happened was one of the rare few times that I can count on my hands that my slides actually did not work. The question about AI at Infosys, this is something that we are quite excited about. Our Mana platform is all about artificial intelligence technologies coming into our services and our software. To the question about automation versus employment, I deeply believe that automation amplifies our ability. Professor Mashelkar has this great line, doing more with less for more. Automation, if we are masters of automation, if we are able to educate ourselves to automate, bring automation software into our work, then automation will be our friend for the foreseeable future. Yes, automation decreases certain jobs, but these are always jobs of the past. We always lose sight of the fact that automation creates new kinds of jobs of the future. And as much as possible, when we look back over the last hundreds of years, certainly since the Industrial Revolution, automation continually takes away jobs of the past, but it also equally creates jobs of the future. And as long as we are able to educate ourselves and learn the new technologies, we will continue to be relevant. We will continue to be able to deliver value. So as far as the eye can see for the foreseeable future, I don't see automation as a threat to jobs of tomorrow. It is an enabler of jobs of tomorrow. Automation may be a threat to jobs of the past. And lastly, one of the questions was about the changes in culture that we are undertaking. I want to unequivocally say that culture is the foundation on which we rest. Our ability to renew ourselves and our ability to do completely new things that we never did before are both founded on a strong foundation of this company's culture. Our insistence on culture as a key element of our strategy is about being true to that culture. Being true to that culture means that we continue to uphold the highest standards of this company. Being true to that culture also means that we continue to learn what it means to uphold that standards as times change, as technology evolves, and as the contexts around us continue to change. But as our shareholders, And that is why education as a key focus is so vital. Mr. Murthy always talked about learnability, the ability to learn as a key cultural element of our company. And more than ever, that element is incredibly important to us. As time goes by, I want to assure you that that continues to be our highest priority. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you didn't address about the suggestion that you should speak in Kannada. You or I think should speak in Kannada. I'm sure next year you will hear him talk in Kannada.
The two Kannada words that I love are bunny bunny.
I can sing about 60, 70 songs in Kannada, but I don't think you want to hear that. So let me take item 2, declaration of dividend. The board has recommended a final dividend of 14.25 rupees per equity share and an interim dividend of 10 rupees per equity share already paid for the year ended 31st March 2016. Any questions? Thank you. Item 3, to appoint a director in place of Dr. Vishal Sikka, who retires by rotation and being eligible seeks reappointment. Any questions from any members? Thank you. Thank you. Item 4 relates to the appointment of auditors. The text of the resolution is already in the notice circulated. Any questions from anyone? Thank you. We shall now take up the poll on all the resolutions set forth in the notice. As I had already said, you had the electronic voting process. Members who have already registered are requested to sign and submit the poll paper in the ballot box near the exit gates. Members who are yet to register are requested to proceed to the registration counters. Board of Directors have appointed P.G. Hegde as the scrutinizer to supervise the e-voting and the poll process. Further, I hereby authorize the Company Secretary to declare the results of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. With this, the 35th Annual General Meeting comes to an end. I thank you for attending this meeting, and I declare the proceedings as closed. Thank you very much.